today?
So my husband, he's a business owner, and frankly, the business is tanking. And he's racked up a lot of debt on both personal cards and business cards. And between that and his truck and trailer, we got a little over $90K in debt that we're looking at. We have a home that we own. We owe about $175 still on it, and we have about a 4% interest rate. Estimates are saying that our home is worth about $250 if we tried to sell it. So I was just going to see if you would advise us selling a home and going into a smaller place, or hanging on to it.
What do you make?
Nothing. I'm a stay-at-home mom.
What's he going to do?
He's looking at just getting a local job here, possibly electrician apprenticeship. But, I mean, we'd be making hardly anything, and he's not gotten a paycheck from work in probably 3 months.
How are you eating?
We had a stocked pantry that we've been working our way through, and there's a food pantry locally that we've been, going through in WIC.
How are you paying the light bill?
We had a last month, but I don't know if we're going to this month.
Okay.
Yeah, I got about $25 in your checking account.
Yeah. So why would he take a half-butt job, making nothing?
Our area is just, there's not a lot. We've looked. He's very skilled. He works in construction, but even with that, he'd be lucky to get a $30 an hour job.
Why? Eugene, Oregon is not like not doing construction. There's construction all over the place around you. There
is, yes. And he can maybe try and get on 2 crews, but just hours for that. Most crews are on the same hour. They would both be daytime type.
Yeah, but an apprentice electrician's not going to make anything. You said that. So Why would he even consider that? Go get on 3 different crews and work like a maniac. You have $25 and your wife's scared out of her mind.
You're about to not have electricity. There's a Walmart in Eugene, isn't there?
Yes, yeah.
Can you go throw boxes on the night shift? Like, you got 2 guys here who've got wives and kids, and I can't fathom the situation you're in right now.
Not doing anything is not an option.
Right.
And I'm going to invest in my future by becoming an apprentice and starve to death? No, thank you.
No.
Okay.
We need money.
You're just trying to think of a new career to start.
Not now.
I need money.
Y'all are drowning. That's like trying to think of a new boat when yours is sinking. Like, the first job is to get to shore.
Sure. Okay.
So I want him to go get 3 jobs in construction and Walmart box slinging.
Okay.
Today.
I want him starting right now. Okay?
Yeah.
The truck and the trailer, bull crap construction stuff right there. What in the world? What is that stuff worth?
The truck, he owes about 14 still, and I looked on Kelley Blue Book, and it's probably worth about 6. If we're lucky, he's kind of run it to the ground with working it.
Yeah, what's the trailer worth?
I haven't looked at what it's worth. We bought it for $17,000, and it's a 2024, so it was brand new. But I don't know what it would go for now. Okay,
let's get rid of that. Okay. And it doesn't sound like you're stuck in the truck for right now. And let's get 6 jobs. And here's what I want you to do. Okay, I'm going to put you on hold. Team is going to pick up, and we're going to put you with one of our financial coaches. And now he has to go get 3 jobs this week.
Okay.
Now.
Can I ask you about that? Something about that, though?
Yeah.
With his business, he has a couple open jobs that he hasn't finished.
We'll finish him on the weekend.
Okay. That's what he's talked about doing. Okay.
Yeah. We got $25.
Yeah.
Rachel, how many kids do you have at home?
3 with a 4th on the way.
I thought so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, honestly, I don't want him to let those other customers down, but I'm more concerned that he doesn't let his pregnant wife down.
Yeah.
Okay? Where you are is terrifying.
Yeah.
My wife, Sharon, will tell you that when she was in the exact same position, she felt like she was driving down the interstate and hit a patch of ice and the car was spinning and she was getting ready to hit the crud out of something. She just didn't know what it was. You know that kind of terror where you open your mouth to scream and nothing comes out?
Yep.
That's where you're sitting, kiddo.
Yes.
And so you guys, and the only answer to it is extreme activity on his part. So I want him working 3 things. and he can put off working weekends until he at the new jobs until he gets these jobs wrapped up, but he needs to get them wrapped up now.
Okay.
And I want him to see how much money he can make. Well, I don't want to overwork. I might burn out. You're not going to burn out. Right before you die, you will pass out.
Do that. Yeah. He's been working 60 to 80-hour weeks the last 3 months.
Yeah, but making no money.
Right.
Yeah. See, that's the issue. So we need some money, short term. This is survival. Now, once we get you with a coach and a counselor, here's what we're going to do. The first money that comes in, let me tell you what you buy with it. You ready?
Yep.
Food.
Okay.
Period. Not eating out food. Grocery store food. You're at home with kids. You cook.
Yep.
Fresh vegetables. Fresh meat.
Yes.
Homemade everything. You cook.
Yep.
Okay?
Okay.
Food. Lights and water second.
Okay.
Keep your utilities on. Or you own the house. Pay your mortgage third.
Okay.
Pay the truck payment fourth.
Okay.
And I don't care about anybody else until your family is warm and housed and fed.
Okay.
He can make that much money by the end of next week.
Okay. Yeah.
You follow me? So we'll get the wolf away from the door and the terror and the panic, and then we can start to think about long-distant future. But right now, we got to take care of our own household first.
Okay.
That's biblical.
Yes, for sure.
Take care of your own household first.
Yes. And the idea of possibly selling the home to gain the equity.
You may have to do that later, but I don't think you do. I don't think you have a home problem or even a trailer or a truck problem. I think you've had an income problem for some time, and it's compounded and fell in on itself. If we reverse that trend and create a huge income with a ridiculous number of well-paid hours, then we can flip this thing on its head pretty quick. I don't think you're going to have to sell it, but it all depends on how much money he can go make.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Thank you. Yes.
And listen, we're not charging you for this coach. We're going to pay for it. I've been right where you are. I remember what it feels like to be so scared you can't breathe.
Yeah.
Okay? And kiddo, listen, last thing is this. Your husband is a good guy.
Yeah.
He's a good dad, and he's a hard-working dude. His business just failed. That doesn't mean he's a bad guy. And he doesn't feel real studly right now.
No, he doesn't.
When his business is failing. It takes away some of your manhood. You follow me?
Yeah.
So you remind him you married him for him, not for his truck and trailer.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. And he married you. You married him because you knew he was going to take care of you, and he is. He'll go do it.
Yeah.
He'll go do exactly what I told him to do. This guy's not a bad dude.
Yeah.
How old is he, 26?
24.
Yeah. Okay. Almost like I've done this before.
Yeah.
Honey, you're going to be okay. We're going to walk with you, okay?
Okay.
All right, you hang on. They'll pick up and get you set up.
Dave, this is a world I don't know that you've lived in. What's the moment when, especially in this case, a man with a dream calls it? Because I can't imagine working 60, 80 hours a week and my wife's going to a food kitchen.
We always call it too late.
Yeah.
Because we always hang on that much longer.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's too late to turn it or salvage anything.
Yeah.
So he should have been out of business 6 months ago.
Right.
Because it wasn't working then.
Yeah.
And we know that because of the debt he's racked up, not earning money.
Right.
So we know he's been supporting this habit called a small business. So this dream. But your dream becomes a nightmare, and those of us that are entrepreneurs, we hang on 5 months, 4 months, 3 months too long, almost always.
And then you got a scared wife saying about to cut the lights off.
Yeah. Sharon would have left, but she didn't have a car.
That's right. Yeah, exactly.
This is The Ramsey Show. Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Isabel is in Houston, Texas. Hi, Isabel. How are you?
Oh, I'm starstruck, but I'm really good. How are you?
Well, I'm honored. How can I help?
I'm really trying to figure things out. I'm on baby step 3. I've got about 4 to 5 months of expenses paid, and I'm currently in between jobs. But I am going to be opening my own business, and I'm wondering how I should fund it. My break-even point is in about 3 to 4 months, And after having everything for the business operating costs and paying employees, profit should be about $70,000 a year. I'm wondering if I should get a part-time job and take out a loan, because startup costs are only about $15,000 to $17,000, or if I should take on a full-time job and do that for a few years and then pay those startup costs in full and then switch to part-time when I get things built up.
You've done a really good job of analyzing this and doing your initial forecasts on your income. What makes you think that's accurate?
Based on the area, the amount of people that are in this area, I would only need to get 95 customers a day at $4.50 a sale. And I think that's overly doable, especially in the area that I'm in.
Okay.
And I've done a little bit of the market research, and there's not any places selling what I'm selling.
Okay. So there's no real set of data. It's just a gut feel based on the market size of the demand of the product that 95 is what you think you would do. You could just as easily do 150. You could just as easily do 30.
Pretty much. I've done some research. I've gone to similar businesses that have the same setup, and I asked them what their sales are per day, and they said their sales are around on the low side 600, on the high side 900.
In the same business that you're. That's the same business selling the same product.
No, but it's the same industry. I'll be selling coffee and beignets from a food truck, and this is just some food trucks that are also in the area.
Oh, I got you. Okay, and so if we take employees out of it and you just do it, what does that save you for the first few months?
If I'm taking employees out, my gross per month should be about $10,260, so $10,260, and then operating cost should be about $400 to $600.
Okay, so your labor cost is pretty substantial then, as a portion of this, percentage-wise. Okay, and so the startup is the purchase of the truck?
The startup would be all of the permit fees, all of the classes I would do to get the proper permits and stuff. That is for 2 counties. Since I'm located in a tri-county area,
you have to take a class to get a permit. You have to take a class to get a permit to sell coffee in Texas.
No, it's just it's a manager certification food safety course. I've already done that once, but I was going to have someone else that could take that course, so when I am ready to hire them, they're ready to go. Also, the LLC, tax ID, that comes to about $1,260, and then all of the equipment and the trailer should cost me about
Stop. Let me go back. Okay. You already have the certification, the manager certification. You were just talking about paying someone else to do it, right? Okay, so we're not hiring anybody, right? Right now, we don't have any money, so we're not hiring anybody. You're going to do the work, and you've already got the certification. So we just dropped labor cost, and we just dropped that. An LLC does not cost $1,000 to put together. Go to uslegalforms.com, and you don't even need an LLC. You don't even need an LLC.
The LLC is $350, and then the permits for the mobile food unit permits and inspection fees are about $910 total.
Okay, but a tax ID number is free, by the way, and you don't even need you don't need an LLC to start with. You could do an LLC later if you want to. It's not required to have an LLC. It's just risk management. Very interesting. Okay, so the truck costs what?
The equipment is about.
Oh, it's a trailer. You said.
Well, the trailer. I'm going to be building it, and that's kind of where my background is. So I'll be building the trailer, and that should probably run me about $3,500, and then all of the equipment is going to be about
$12,000. The equipment to do what? The oven or something, or?
The deep fryer, the vent hood, the sinks that you're required
and how much
to have.
How much have you got in your emergency fund?
I'm sorry?
How much is in your emergency fund?
Right now, $5,000 and $5,044.
Okay. I thought you said you had 4 months of expenses. Okay.
Well, my expenses are about $900 a month.
Okay. So almost all of the $17,000 is the trailer and the equipment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. I'll tell you what you have done so very well. You have line itemed this out. You know the answers to these questions. You are living this dream. It's going to happen because you've put it down. I mean, you've laid it down. You've laid it out. You've got it all figured out. I never tell people to borrow money to start a business, and I'm not going to tell you to borrow money to start a business. So my only thing that starts running through my head then is how can we make some money really, really fast? Because I need about $15,000 to get you going is all.
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine you can probably pick up the equipment, some of it used even, or refurbished even cheaper than you're talking about, couldn't you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I was just kind of going off of a best-case scenario.
Yeah, I'm going off of a worst-case scenario because I'm trying to find the money to get this thing going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you probably cut that equipment cost by at least 25 or 30%, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're getting down close to $10,000 now. I don't want you to spend your last dollar, your emergency fund, to do this. And you said you're not working right now?
I'm currently in between jobs. I had a sales job making about $2,500 to $3,000 a month. And then I had a buddy of mine that said, hey, come on, I'll get you into management, and then we'll put you on salary, and you'll go up the chain of command. But things didn't quite pan out that way. And so now I'm like, should I take another sales job and make some money?
Yes.
Or should I take a part-time job and really follow this dream all the way through?
I want you to take a sales job, make some money, and follow this dream all the way through as soon as you possibly can scratch the money together. Live on beans and rice and build this trailer and get this thing going. You'll have it going by March.
You really think so?
I really think so. It may be April. I could be wrong, but I think that's where you're headed. You're a rock star, Isabel. You're going to do this. And I want you to call me back and let me know how to. I'm going to come drink a cup of your coffee next time I'm in Houston. So hold on, I'm going to give you a copy of Christie's book, Business Boutique.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click the subscribe button to get the latest content and check out these other great clips from the show.
Andrea is with us in San Diego. Hi, Andrea. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
Okay, so my dad died 37 years ago, and my mom he left properties and assets. So my mom, we're three kids, now in the age of 50, around 50. So my mom started managing the properties. Then my
Did your mom own them at that time? When your dad died, did he leave all the property to your mom?
Okay, we're talking about 6 properties. 2 are jointly owned with my brothers. My mom, in Argentina, when the spouse dies, 50% is it's complicated, Dave. 50 to my mom, and the other 50 belongs to the 3 of us. 2 properties are like that.
Okay.
And then 2 were in an LLC, which are about to be put in a title for my brothers, my 2 brothers. They live in Argentina. I live here in the U.S., right? So
the properties are in Argentina?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
So, so my mother started managing them first. Then my youngest brother started managing and putting most of the money in his pocket. Then in one of my trips, that was raised to me by my middle brother, and they both started managing the properties, pocketing most of the money themselves, right? I was just getting whatever they thought was fair. Now that years have passed, I have grown children. I started looking into numbers and things like that, and I'm realizing that they have been giving me between 15 and 25% of what was supposed to my part, right? So I would I'm trying to divide things, to make things clear, transparent, but they are reluctant. They are lashing out. One has completely shut down. He doesn't take my phone calls. And So, and my mom, I mean, in a way, she's a little bit biased, right? I mean, she loves the three of us, but in a way, she's a little bit biased because she's chauvinistic. That's the way she was raised.
Yeah, I tell you what, you hang on. When we come back from this break, we'll hear the rest of this sordid story. We're talking with Andrea in San Diego. She's got brothers in her mother with managing inherited property that she's a partial owner of in Argentina. They've been paying her what they wanted to pay her over the years, and she just looked up the other day, decided to do some math after 36 years, and discovered that she's not getting her fair share. Now she's trying to separate this and get clarity on it, and she's getting a lot of pushback. Is that a fair summary of what you told us so far, Andrea?
Yes.
Okay. So what are you going to do?
That's my question to you. And also, let's add that they have lived rent-free for one, at least 18 years, and the other one, 7 years, rent-free, plus receiving all the income from the other properties, right?
Yeah.
And my mom insists on me being nice. Andrea, be nice. Be nice to them. Mm-hmm. Being nice means not telling them. I mean, I am frustrated.
Being nice means getting screwed by your brothers.
In a way, yes.
No, definitely. They've been screwing you over for years, is what you just told us.
Decades, yes.
They've been messing you over for a long time, and that's her definition of being nice. No thanks, Mom. I'll pass on being nice. That's not being nice. That's being a victim.
I don't want to be a victim.
Well, you are a victim. But and if you're going to either going to continue to be one or you're not, it's up to you. So you've got a couple of options here. As far as I see it, 3. 1, you just keep going like you are and be nice.
Yeah, no.
Okay. The other one is you can just sign over all the property to them and say, good luck with it, boys. I'm done with y'all. I don't want any more money. I don't want anything else to do with any of you. You've messed me over so bad. Here's the deed to everything. I'm just going to walk away from this. The family dysfunction is not worth whatever the assets are. I'm through with you. And just sign it over to them, which, by the way, is not a really bad idea. That's not a bad idea at all. It's not the idea you were expecting me to give you. And, of course, the third option is to use the Argentinian courts to settle this if your brothers don't come to the table peacefully and start signing over properties to you.
Yeah. I think they're blind. They're blind by rage and fear.
I don't care.
Yeah.
You get it. They have 10 days or they have 30 days from the time I call them, regardless of all their screwed up dysfunctions and machoism or whatever it is they're dealing with. You have 30 days for us to work this out. If you do not work this out by this date, my attorney will begin the process in the Argentinian courts of suing all of your pants off.
Okay.
And by the way, the attorneys are going to get all the money and the family's going to end up with nothing. That's how this always works, because that's how attorneys work.
Yes.
So, Andrea, what was the agreement up front 36, 37 years ago? That you would get a third?
I was, when my dad died, I was 14 years old. I was a kid. So, I mean, I had no agreement, right? We were young.
No, there was a will. There was a direction
You said it's split
of
between
what the
you.
estate was supposed to be.
No, there was no will. We were talking about 6 properties. 2 were in an LLC. 2 were in our name, jointly owned, my 2 brothers and I. So 2 are like that, and 2 are in a succession, right? They're supposed to be in our name. I mean, 50 for my mom and 50 for the 3 of us.
And you said you're getting about 15 to 20%. What would you think would be fair?
Right.
What is the mathematically correct amount to get?
A year.
Well, percentage-wise,
just
you said you're getting
1/3.
15 to 20. You're saying you should be getting 33?
I'm saying 15, 20, 25% of the 33 that I should get.
Yeah, you got a tiny fraction of what you should be getting is what you're trying to say.
Correct.
So here's the thing: you have lost trust in them because they've stolen from you.
Yes.
And so you either need to walk away from them or you need to separate the properties. And if they don't do that with reasonableness and voluntarily, we'll have a judge make them do that.
Okay.
I don't know anything about Argentinian law or courts. In the U.S., this is a partnership, a general partnership that you're going before civil court and asking the judge to force the disillusionment of the partnership, which means they either buy you out or they sell the property and everybody gets their section. Everybody gets their part.
Okay.
Force the disillusionment of the partnership because you no longer trust your partners, who sadly are your own brothers, funded emotionally by your mother, who is an enabler.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, and so it's a sad thing. I'm so sorry. It breaks your heart. And honestly, I don't know. What is your financial situation? How wealthy are you?
I'm doing well.
Well, what is well? I mean, you got $10 million or $2?
No. In about less than 10 years, we're going to pay off my house in San Diego, California, and we have another.
If you never got another dime from this, would it really affect your life?
No, not really. But I mean, I feel I'm not standing up for my own family at this point.
I know you're not. I know you're not.
But
let me just tell you, I don't
mean,
think you're going to fix
money.
your family. I think when this is all said and done, they're all still going to be pissed. Don't you?
Probably.
Yeah. So you're not going
to get their blind.
There's not going to be there's not a version of this story where everybody gets together and smiles and makes a big meal and is so glad to see each other again. That version of this story does not exist. That's not going to happen, is it? If you talk them into it and they deed you your portion, you're still going to feel badly towards them for stealing from you, and they're still going to feel like you forced them into doing something they didn't want to do. If you sue them, we know that they're going to feel that way, and you're going to feel that way, and now everybody's writing lawyers' checks too. So there's not a version of this story where everybody gets back together and is all happy again.
Yeah.
Too much misbehavior under the bridge. I wish it would happen, but I don't think it's going to happen realistically. So you've just got to decide what you want to do. I think you need to seriously consider, from your standpoint, the idea of just deeding it over to them and just walking away.
I don't want to do that.
Okay. All right.
Then you got to fight.
Then you're getting ready to stir up a ruckus, kiddo. That's not an Argentina phrase. That's a hillbilly phrase. You're gonna stir up a ruckus. I don't know how you say that in Spanish, but you're about to stir up a ruckus.
I'd love to hear it. It'd probably sound really cool. But this whole thing is just dripping with resentment on either side, and so
everybody's mad and hurt and wounded.
It's just poisoning yourself at some point,
and
when you don't sleep at night.
There's a lot of times in these situations, and because even her giving them the property is not gonna make them happy or her happy. There's not a version, not an option that I see on the table where everyone plays patty cake and kissy face after this is done. They're just not going to. This has gone on too long. Mom is too screwed up. The brothers are too big of crooks, and she's too pissed about it.
Yeah, and you're talking international, and so you can't just show up.
It's international pissed.
This is a different level. Different level. I'm not messing with Argentina, but man, this is a tough situation. She's going to have to get a backbone here.
So regardless of the country, this illustrates why you need a will and why you need to read the will while you're alive and tell everyone what's going to happen. If everybody's going to be mad after you're gone, go ahead and do it while you're alive. Just make them mad now. Go ahead and show them now. This is what's going to happen. You're doing cocaine, so we're leaving you nothing. Okay? And you can just be pissed about that now. Okay? Go ahead and be mad about it. Or you're dysfunctional and you're disconnected from the family, and so we're not leaving you anything. Let's go ahead and clear the air on that. Right?
When I pass, if I'm the dad, what I don't want is for my kids to bicker and fight for the rest of their lives.
Exactly.
Because of what I left them as a blessing.
And each of them arguing incorrectly what Dad's will was when he had a will.
We all have our own interpretation.
No, yeah, Daddy always said, let me tell you what Daddy always said. Daddy always read the will once a year and said, this is what it is, baby.
Boom.
Mama always said, this is what it is, baby. You need to have a reading of the will while you're alive. That's why they call it a will. What is my will upon my death? My will for you is that you get this and you get this. That's what the will means.
Yeah. We say to be unclear is to be unkind. And this is what it gets you.
Your testament as to what you want to have happen. Well, go ahead and cover it while you're alive and write it down in a legal document, and everyone then is on the same page. Taria is with us in Virginia. Hi, Taria. How are you?
Great, Dave. Thank you so much for speaking with me, and thanks for all you do.
You too. Thanks. How can I help?
So I have a son. He's 18. He's in college with no scholarships. We're paying out of pocket, so we're not in debt to student loans or anything like that. And the thing is, we had an agreement. We have a contract to say that if he makes anything below a B, he has to pay out of pocket, pay me for paying for the semester. So we check his grades every semester. Unfortunately, every semester it hasn't been great. And he's been paying. That hasn't been a problem. He works, and he's been paying. But unfortunately, I mean, it kind of backfired because he's still not doing good. We thought that, you know, by him paying out of his pocket and using his money and him being able to slow some things down that he wants, like his goal is to get a car and things of that nature, that, you know, he would be like, okay, I got to do good. Unfortunately, he still isn't, and I could use some godly advice on what can I do.
So why is he not making the grades?
He's not motivated.
When you say he's not doing good,
know.
wait a minute. When you say he's not doing good, what's I mean, how many C's?
He's not making any B's. He's average. He's averaging out, or some classes he's not dropping in classes in time, so he's not making the grades, making D's or C's, and it's just, you know, I speak to him, I show him, put the grades in his face so he could see, and ask him how does it make him feel, and I talked to him, but he told me that, you know, he want to do good every semester. He says, I'm going to do better, and he says he tried, but I don't think he tried to think other things. His priorities might not be in order. He's not doing, I mean, he's not a child that's out hanging out or anything like that. He's a really good kid, but for some reason I can't seem to get him motivated to let him know that this is important. And
I got that part. What I'm trying to figure out why he's not making grades.
He's just not motivated to do it.
Not motivated? What's that mean? He doesn't go to class? He doesn't study? What's the problem?
Yes, he goes to class. No, I believe he doesn't. He either doesn't study or he procrastinates. He is a procrastinator. Unfortunately, I got to admit, he probably got that from his mom. But, yeah, he might study the day before or, you know, yes, he's definitely a procrastinator. Yes,
okay.
sir.
And why is he dropping? He's dropping classes when he starts not doing well?
No, he didn't drop the class. I would have preferred that so we can get some of the money back, but he hasn't. So he just went through.
Okay, so how many semesters has he been there?
I let him stay in school. It's been a year.
Okay, two semesters.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Two semesters.
Sir. And
okay.
he went. I made
and
him
out of
go
two semesters, how
too.
many C's did he get?
I'm gonna tell you, Dave. He has no B's, no A's. So all C's and D's, and that's it.
Okay. Is he not intellectually capable of handling college?
No, he's pretty. I think he handles.
Where is he going to school?
Oh, it's a community college.
Okay, if he can't make B's in community college, he's not going to class and he's not cracking a book at all, or he's got an intellectual issue.
Okay.
Because what did he graduate from high school? Obviously, what was his GPA when he came out of high school?
It was average as well. He barely
made his GPA?
Maybe 2.9, maybe 3.0, but it was average.
That's not average. That's a 3.0 is a B. That's above average.
Well, he might have. He was close to.
Okay,
a B.
so he's capable of passing these classes.
Absolutely.
Is he living at home?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Where's his dad in this discussion?
Unfortunately, I've been a single mom, so he hasn't been around.
Okay. Are you guys in a good church?
Yes, actually, I go to Spirit of Faith Christian Center.
I would do a couple things. One is, I don't think this kid's going to class, and I know he's not opening a book at all.
Okay.
Because a community college is not that difficult. The bar is not that high. If you go in there and you sit and you listen to the teacher and you take notes during the class and you actually read half of the homework, you ought to be making a B. And he's making C's and D's. He's not even showing up.
Yeah.
There's something else going on here that you're missing and I'm missing in this discussion. So I would do two things. One is I want a very structured thing. If you're going to let him go back, I want very structured. I want some kind of proof that he's actually in the class. I'm going to treat him like a juvenile. like he's a
Right.
youngster, because he's acting like one. I think he's skipping out.
Okay.
That's what I think. I don't think he's going to
we
class.
have a meeting with the counselor next week on Wednesday. So
And let's get some kind of an insurance policy that you can actually get physical proof that the young man is sitting in the class, number one. Number two, then you treat him like he's in 6th grade and you look over his shoulder and make him do his freaking homework.
Okay.
Okay? Because he's not got the discipline that the average 6th grader's got right now. Their 6th graders have better study habits than this kid.
Okay.
Right?
Mhm.
Because he doesn't study.
Right.
And if you're going to be a man, my son, you have to act like a man. And
Right.
then the third thing I would do is, is there a guy in your church, a married couple, that the guy is reasonably successful, academic motivated, or somebody that has got a business or something that your son could look up to, that would sit down with your son maybe once a month at your request, not a big bunch of time on his part, but just to motivate him, just guy to guy.
Okay. Yeah, I can. I mean, there are tons of men, and he's in this men program.
Mm-hmm.
He hadn't been there in a while just because he works in school. But
yeah,
I got to reach out to them and ask them
I'm not
to
concerned
reach out.
about how much he works or whether he pays you back for the C. That motivation's not working. He either needs to get his act together, or you need to pull all support, because you get him to pay.
Dave, that's what I said, and I just wanted your advice. That's what I
wouldn't
told
do
him.
it though right now. I think you make a good hard run about putting a lot of structure around him and support around him, and let's get him on through there. Not because academics are important, but because the self-control and self-discipline that he learns to cause this change to happen in his character is going to cause those grades to come up. That's what's important in this equation.
Okay.
And I think you tried to lay a carrot out there in front of a guy who isn't a horse yet.
Okay.
He didn't go for it, you know?
No, he didn't.
It didn't motivate him. You didn't find the right button to motivate him. There's got to be something else that motivates him.
Right.
And it might be you treating him like a little child. Might cause him to man up a little bit. I don't know. Something along those lines. But I want him to square his shoulders and step into this, and you do too, for his own sake. Not because you need him to or I need him to, but for his own sake. Yeah, let's get a guy in his life. You get that men's program in addition to that into his life. Let's get physical confirmation of his physical presence in the class. And then, hey, I want to see your notes that you took every night when you get home from class. I want to see your notes, and then I want to see what your homework assignment is, and I want to watch you do it. And you get off the phone, you get off the TV, and no, you don't need to work until you get that done. I'll feed you. And no, you don't need to pay me back. What I want you to do right now is I want you to go to class. The way you pay me back, son, is you become a man. That's how you pay me back.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click the subscribe button to get the latest content and check out these other great clips from the show.
Today's question is from Ricky in Washington. He says, David, just gone through my second beater car. Tired of being on a first-name basis with the AAA tow truck driver. I'm out of debt. I have my emergency fund saved, and I have the money to get a little nicer car. Having a hard time parting with it because I worked so hard to save it. Can you talk a bit about the struggle people have with spending money, even when they have it to spend? Yeah, it's so hard to finally get some in savings. It's hard to release it, especially if you're wired as a saver. Now, I'm wired as a spender. My wife is wired as a saver. Usually we fall in one of two categories. I think you're wired as a saver. She gets great comfort from having that pile of money, more than she would get great comfort from having a reliable car. Me, I'd rather have a reliable car. Past the emergency fund. You're at the, this is an emotional thing at this point. It's not a financial thing. I have the money, but I have trouble releasing it. And so what that says is you're just getting some, it's a normal thing, and it's not a bad thing, but it just says I get security from that extra money beyond my emergency fund. And I'll tell you this, I think it's something we all have to work at, one of our money skills. There's really three basic money skills that you have. Spending properly, reasonably. Learning to enjoy money falls under spending. learning to enjoy life with your money, which is kind of what your question's about. The second one's saving. You got to learn to save money for emergencies, for college, for retirement, to change your family tree, to build wealth. You got to learn to invest. You got to learn to ride the investment waves like we've had in the stock market in the last couple of weeks, right? And giving. The power of generosity to completely change you when you learn to give as the natural rhythm of your life. It changes everything. So, giving, saving, and spending. Everyone has at least one of those that they struggle with. Mine is saving. I'm a spender. It's no trouble for me to enjoy money. It's also no trouble for me to give money. A lot of spenders, it's easy for them to be generous because the release of money doesn't bother us as much as it does a saver. But I'm weak at saving, and that's why God makes me teach this every day. I'm no longer weak at saving, but it wasn't my natural default. I had to intellectually decide to have an act of my will to save and invest. And really what drove me to do that as a spender-giver is that I would have more to spend and give if I built more wealth. I can spend more and give more. And that's my only reason for saving. It's not because I just love saving money. I still don't to this day. It's not. So you're on the other side of this, Ricky, is what we're saying. You don't enjoy spending. We don't know about giving. You didn't address that in your thing. Sometimes I can get spenders or savers like this to turn loose of their money first by increasing their giving. And then that kind of gives them permission to also enjoy the money themselves. But it would be a shame to save and work and not enjoy some of your money. And one of the things you should enjoy is a reliable vehicle. And you don't have a reliable vehicle. You've been doing beaters. And so, you need to go buy the car. You already knew that. You weren't asking about that, but you already knew that. But maybe also take a little bit of that money and give it. Find some place to be generous at your church, or find a couple that's struggling, or a single mom that didn't pay her light bill for a year, or whatever. But find something to do, because there's something about giving that kind of then gives you permission down inside your spirit to also enjoy money. Because money's fun if you got some. You ought to enjoy it. You ought to enjoy some nice things. Now, if that's all you do and you don't save and you don't give, then you're just a shallow twerp, right? But, to assume that just because someone has the ability to enjoy money means that they're greedy or shallow, that's just bogus. And the way you can tell is what percentage of their financial situation is going towards stuff for them. And if all the money you make is going to buy you crap, then you're out of balance, But if you're giving a percentage of your income, and you're investing a good percentage of your income, and you're enjoying some of your income on lifestyle purchases, travel, cars, clothes, whatever it is, then that's in balance once you're at baby step 3 and beyond. And that's where Ricky is. But it's a really good question, Ricky. It's a good question for me to stop and just kind of rant on or vent on for a second here, teach on for a second, because sometimes people think, well, no one should ever have a car like that. What would anyone need a house like that for? Now, I've got a friend that's worth about $3 billion. Now, a billion is 1,000 million. He has 3,000 million. He has 3,000 million. He spent $6 million on his house. And people sent him hate mail. No one should ever have a house like that. His house, as a percentage of his net worth and his income, is like you going through the drive-thru at Chick-fil-A and buying a biscuit. It didn't affect his life one iota to spend $6 million on a house. As a matter of fact, that's a very conservative house for someone who has $3 billion. So, George, 30 years ago when I started teaching this stuff, I was first teaching people how to get out of debt, live on a budget, be generous, live on less than you make. So you have a plan, you avoid debt, you save money for emergencies and later for investing. And all of those principles work, but people kept saying, which one do I do first? And so I started laying out, well, you should do this first and that first. You should have an emergency fund before you start your 401k. And then I figured out it's easier to have an emergency fund if you don't have any payments. And so you need to get out of debt first. Because, of course, I learned my lesson the hard way, going bankrupt and getting out of debt, and learning how important it was to be debt-free as a part of building wealth. So all of that started to formulate after a few years of teaching in various settings and what became Financial Peace University. It used to be called Life After Debt. And it started becoming what we now call the baby steps. And the interesting thing is that now the baby steps have gone into the Total Money Makeover book, which has sold almost 10 million copies. And they have become the proven plan, the shortest distance between where you are now and wealth. Where you are, if you'll live like no one else later, you can live and give like no one else. What is the shortest distance? And we need a path to run on, because the way you eat an elephant, it's overwhelming. Do I do my 401k with the match, or my kid's college? Or do I have an emergency fund? Or do I pay on this 18% credit card debt? Or, and nothing gets done. You get paralysis of the analysis. You get frozen.
Absolutely. And this step, these baby steps have worked for me. They've worked for millions. And it's really simple. If you do it, they work. And it all starts with baby step one, having this foundation, saving $1,000 for a starter emergency fund. This is just a small buffer between you and life before we start tackling the debt.
Exactly. And if you have $1,000 already, great. Just set that aside. That's your baby step one. Any money you have that's not retirement, anything you can sell that is not retirement, you're going to liquidate it. If it's not retirement, you got some stock over here that Grandpa left you. You got a gold bar under your bed. I don't know what it is, but you got any money that's above $1,000. Maybe you got $10,000 in a savings account. That's $9,000 you've got that you don't need past baby step one. We're going to put it all on baby step two. And baby step two is the famous one. That's the debt snowball, where you list your debts smallest to largest. You pay minimum payments on everything but the little one, and you attack the little one with a vengeance. Side note, baby step one should not take you more than 30 days. Maximum. You need to work extra, sell some stuff, have a garage sale, put the kids on Craigslist, whatever you got to do here. Let's get it done. And you know, we're going to get busted into this, get $1,000 quick. Baby step two, you should be debt-free, but your house. Now, you may have to sell a stupid boat. You may have to take an extra job. But most people that have followed the Total Money Makeover baby steps in Financial Peace University are debt-free inside of 2 years.
Yeah, and that's with doing it with some gazelle intensity, like you talk about in Financial Peace University. And once you pay off all that debt, now you freed up all those payments, right? You have that income back in your life.
Think about what it'd be like to have no payments but a house payment. Wow.
We're breathing easy. And then we can move on to baby step three, where we save 3 to 6 months of expenses in a fully funded emergency fund. This is the final buffer where we say we're never going back into debt because we are the bank now.
Yep. Grandma's rainy day fund. Why? It's going to rain. Dave, you need to be positive. I'm positive. It's going to rain. You need to be ready when crap happens. There's a pandemic coming around every corner. There's something coming, and if you have $20,000 cash in the bank, 3 to 6 months of expenses, whatever it is, and you have no payments, you are the third pig in the 3 little pigs, the one that's in the brick house when the big bad wolf comes. You're ready for life. You're ready to go. Now you're ready to build wealth. But that you just now have gotten up to ground zero. You've just now gotten up to even. When you have that emergency fund and you're debt-free, now you're ready to build wealth. And in baby step 4, you put 15% of your income aside into good growth stock mutual funds in retirement plans. Start where there's a match. Beyond the match, always do Roth. And if you've exhausted Roth and match and still are not to 15%, then go on to a traditional 401k or IRA. But do Roths before traditional and do match before Roths. It's mathematically in your favor to do that, up to the 15%. Don't do 20%. Don't do 11%. Do 15%. While you are doing baby steps 4, you're also going to be doing 5 and 6 simultaneously.
Absolutely. So baby step 5 is where we're saving for our children's college fund. And this is going to look different for everyone. There's no set number here because it really depends on your situation.
Did you have the baby last week, or is the baby 18? That makes a difference on how much you need for college, right? I mean, what you got to do for college. Just like, is this an oh crap moment, or hey, we're going to be diligent and save? Did we wait almost until too late? Now, they have to go to college debt-free. They cannot participate in this epic student loan system failure that is called America right now. It is horrible out there. Do not let your kids go in debt. You do not have to go to debt. Go to community college for free for 2 years. Go to in-state school. Work 6 jobs, get scholarships. Our student loan problem is a parenting problem. Mom and dad let kids sign up for crap they couldn't afford. Bad mama, bad daddy.
They got to have the conversations. That's where it starts. And there's a reason you say baby step 4, invest for yourself before the kids, because there's a 100% chance you're going to retire. There's a 50-50 chance or less these days that your kid's going to go to college.
And graduate.
Yeah.
Yeah, this less than 50% chance they're going to graduate. So, this is important. So while you're doing 15%, you do whatever you need to do for your kids' college, whatever you decide to do for your kids' college. Beyond that, if you can find any money, you do that on baby step 6, and that's pay off your house. Start chunking on the house. Now, when you're in 1 through 3, you are so intense your friends are freaking out. Your grandmother thinks you need counseling. You are gazelle intense, like a gazelle running from a cheetah. When you're in 4 through 7, you're not intense anymore. You are now intentional. You're just doing it on purpose, but you're no longer on beans and rice. You're on beans and rice, rice and beans, scorched earth on 1 through 3 till you get those 3 things done. Now, get that house paid off. The average person following this stuff is paying off their home in about 7 or 8 years. Now, that tells us that the whole program is taking about 10 years, and the average baby steps millionaire, the average everyday millionaire that we've studied, we're finding them become a millionaire from the time they start with intensity followed by intentionality, become a millionaire in about 10 and a half years.
Yeah.
11.2 years, 10.6 years are the 2 numbers we keep running into. So this is completely possible.
Yeah, and once you pay off that house, it's time to build wealth and give outrageously in baby step 7. That's where it ends.
Yeah, you will be a millionaire shortly after your home is paid for if you don't at that moment. And then you continue to build wealth, and you raise your generosity, and you continue to build wealth, and you raise your generosity. And you enjoy the money at that point.
That's where it gets fun.
These are the things. The only 3 things you can do with money, and you should do all of them at baby step 7. And that's the route you're going. That's where you are. That's who you are. That is the baby steps.
We promised the folks on Instagram we'd answer a few of their questions, and so that's what you guys get to hear on the Ramsey Show.
Oh, George, watch out. Now this is going to get, oh boy, potentially controversial. This is from Inchy Squinchy, which, by the way.
Is that the controversial part?
No, it might be, depending on how you get offended these days. But it is the username. Hi, Ken. My boyfriend of 11 months is not on board with the Ramsey ways or the baby steps. I love him so much, and I'm terrified to break it off. Please advise me, as if I was your daughter.
Wow, Ken, you're that old.
Inchy Squinchy.
You're
I
that
am
old.
now officially
That's
the
real.
old man of the Ramsey Show. And here's what I would tell you. If you were Josie, my daughter, you give him the ultimatum, and you explain why. If we're going to go to the next level in our relationship, we have got to be on the same page about money, or else why are we dating? I'm not doing this just to have a buddy or a pal. And so I would give him the ultimatum to say, this is what I believe about money, and if you don't believe that way, I totally get it, but you and I aren't right for each other, and I would say, I'm out.
I got another one here from Joklahoma State.
Joklahoma is his name?
Is it the wrong time to buy a house right now? And that's a great question, Ken. A lot of people are freaking out. They're trying to time this housing market, which is so unpredictable. And the truth is, there's never a wrong time to buy the house if you can financially afford the house. And what we mean by that is a 15-year fixed-rate mortgage with a payment that's no more than a quarter of your take-home pay. And by the way, interest rates are high. I know that. But guess what? You can refinance when interest rates go back down. And so that's not the end of the world. I know it's not fun to have that extra on your payment, but if you can still withstand it with that 25% threshold, then yes, it's a great time to buy a house.
It's a great time. All right, here's another one. Pragland64 says, guys, talk about the court. the Texas judge halting the loan forgiveness.
This was big news.
Not much to talk about except to say, I told you so. My audience knows this. It's unconstitutional. Look it up. We learned about this in the 5th or 6th grade, folks. This is not political. It's just the Constitution.
I love that Ken is like, Google the Constitution, bro. That's his advice.
Well, he doesn't have the authority to do it, and we knew it was going to be challenged, so that's why we tell you to pay off your loans. All right, another one, George. Let's see here.
What do we got?
Can you explain how to win with LinkedIn? Interesting, George. Now, you were a social media specialist before you became a Ramsey personality. Give us 30 seconds on how to win with LinkedIn.
Number one, it's not just to throw things at people and just always be posting. You need to engage. You need to jump into other people's conversations, be commenting, be messaging, really try to connect. This is not the time to do your cold sales pitch. This is the time to actually be a person. And the more you do that, the more you will win, on top of posting quality content on there, your insights, your experience. That's what people want to see.
All right. Let's see. Demona roll, if I'm saying that right. What's more important, 401k or 529?
Oh, well, I don't see them as separate. That's baby step 4 and 5. You should be doing both. Start with 15% of your income into retirement, into the 401k. Then you can move to the 529 and put as much as you can into there.
By the way, if you're joining the Ramsey Show right now, you've popped in. George Campbell and I are answering questions live from Instagram viewers at Ken Coleman. If you head on over there, we're doing just Instagram live questions. Here's Jaradina80. Love the random usernames. It always tickles me. How to become more confident in your life and work. One simple answer. I believe that the key to confidence is clarity. I don't care what area of your life it is. Confidence comes when we're clear. But when we're not clear, in other words, we're doubtful, that's very natural to not have confidence. So if it's confidence in money, confidence in your relationships, confidence in your work, get clear. Get to the bottom of where the doubt's coming from, and then address that. You're going to be confident.
That's good. I got one from Ambit Media. When should we downsize our home to be debt-free sooner? This is a great question. It is not the right path for everyone, and truthfully, a lot of people use it as a shortcut, Ken, because they don't want to do the hard work, and it feels like they can leapfrog. And for some people, it does make sense. But if you can be debt-free within 2 years without selling the home, don't sell the home, because it's a headache and there's a lot of fees involved, and you got to turn around and then buy another home. And so don't do it unless it's a drastic situation and you already have way too much house and the payment's killing you, and it will help you become debt-free that much sooner. Ken, this is a hot one I got to jump in on. Hollis Robinson said, I'm afraid to choose a career. I want to make sure God approves of the career.
Ooh. Well, I don't like that.
What is the heart behind that?
Well, I think it comes from a good place, but God doesn't give us the stamp of approval that I think we expect him to. What he does is give us judgment. He gives us discernment, gave us a heart. And I can tell you, if you use what I teach, and this job allows you to use what you do best, that's talent that God gave you. It allows you to do something you love, that's the heart that God gave you. And it allows you to create results that matter to you. Again, that's the discernment that God gave you. That is the approval. Go for it.
Let's just answer a fun one here, Ken, from Jeff Bush.
By the way, if you just jumped in, George and I are answering questions on Instagram Live at Ken Coleman if you want to jump in.
If you're confused by the manic spree that we're on answering questions.
These are fast and furious.
Is it true, from Jeff Bush photo video, that George had a real-life camel at his wedding? And yes, that is 100% true.
That is absolutely true. I can confirm this. That is not fake news.
The 20-second story is we won a free local wedding contest, a $28,000 wedding package. And so I thought, I'm going to spring $700 to get a guy to bring a camel to this wedding as a photo op, just to be silly and fun.
George, I got a fun one for you. Red Sewing says, best way to save for college as a high schooler who has a small business.
Oh, that's incredible. Well, number one, live on as little as you can make and throw as much as you can into savings. You don't have a ton of time, so I would not put it in the stock market, but a high-yield savings account is a great place to store that money as you continue to work. And scholarships. Make sure you're applying for scholarships as an extra part-time job.
Yeah. Sean Perriello says, how do you stay motivated at a job that won't train someone for 2 years? Salary triples after the training. I'd say, Sean, do you want to be there long-term? Forget the 2 years and the tripling of the salary. Do you want to be there long-term? If you do, patience. It's a beautiful thing. Wait. Crush the now. You'll get the next. Anything worth doing or getting is worth waiting.
Here's one from Ben Wilson. How do you get out of debt when you have 2 full-time jobs and nothing to cut back on? Wow. Well, if you don't have any margin to throw at the debt with 2 full-time jobs, you're not getting paid enough at either of them. So Ken would say you got to get better jobs.
That's it. Better paycheck. This is fun. This is, again, see, you already mentioned this, guys, but I think this is fun. He may be in the lobby. Would you rather fight a 1 horse-sized duck or a 6 duck-sized horse?
Oh, this is a classic conundrum, Ken.
I got to tell you, I'm going with the smaller.
Yeah, the duck-sized horses.
Smaller of the two.
I could take them.
Boy, there you go. There's my Ron Burgundy moment. Let's see. Ken, what are the dangers of remote work? What would scare you away? I think 2 things. Number 1, not having the relationship that you get from collaboration and being around coworkers and feeling lonely. That could be a danger of remote work. And the second, out of sight, out of mind. If your leader doesn't see you, hear you, and it gets to a layoff situation, you could be the first one on the block. That is a danger.
Well, we are running out of time, Ken.
That
but
was
I got to
fun.
say, this has been so fun going on Instagram Live, answering questions live on The Ramsey Show.
Instagram, I got to go.
Be sure to follow us at Ken Coleman, at George Camel with a K. We love helping people over on social media.
Yeah, always
Thank
fun.
you for all of that.
My partner and I here, we were talking earlier in the show, and we talk all the time around the office about this. Inflation.
Yeah.
Right? And just there is a natural progression of inflation over time. The Fed, just a kind of a quick review here because Jade's got a little something to share here today. So teeing you up here because everybody's heard about the Fed. Mm-hmm. Jerome Powell, unfortunately, has become a name that everybody knows.
Yeah.
And to his credit, the Fed is attempting, sometimes I agree with them, sometimes I don't, but they are always attempting to keep inflation in that 2.5% range or so. And when it gets above that, they start paying attention. And this is where we get the monetary policy. And you all are paying attention to the headlines all the time when you see, are they raising rates? Are they dropping rates? All this kind of stuff. So it's always an interesting tension between wages. Are wages going up?
Are they outpacing the inflation?
Are they outpacing inflation? Very hard for that to happen over long term. So anyway, nonetheless, what do you got here? You got a little something for us?
Well, I'm trying to make heads or tails of all of it, right? Because it's like we knew in 2022 that inflation was going bananas. Like we felt it, the numbers were there, the data supported what we were feeling was true. But then we started to see inflation taper off, and
That's right.
we saw wages start to jump ahead. But yet we were still saying, oh, it's so expensive out there. It's so crazy. And so my thought was like, okay, what's really happening? Because, you're a guy that's following employment. You're following those numbers. And I'm looking at this graph here that I saw that really around March of 2023, a little earlier, wages really did start outpacing inflation at a decent rate. And I thought, okay, that means that we've got a little bit more margin back as American people. Where is this money going? So I started looking around. And, obviously we feel it at the grocery store. Like that's the main place people say, oh my gosh, it's so expensive. And around about the time I was looking at this, I saw that NPR came out with a grocery study that basically said they followed the prices of groceries from 2019 until today.
Okay.
They went to Walmart and they picked, I believe it was 100 different items. And they said, we're going to track this over the course of 6 years, basically. And what they found is on average, out of those items that they tracked, 21 of the items actually got cheaper. 27 products got more expensive, and the rest of them basically stayed the same. And when you think about it, you're like, okay, that's interesting. That's not as much as I would have thought. Like I'm thinking everything has gone crazy, everything's exploding. And so again, I'm like, okay, things have started to taper out. What's going on with this money? We're also seeing articles that are saying like people are spending more on their credit card than ever before. But at the same time, like investments are doing better than ever before.
Right.
So the question is there margin and what are people doing with it? Is it true that wages are actually outpacing inflation? And from your point of view, what do you think about that?
Well, no, they're not, and they can't. It's unsustainable. So, for instance, if we look from a macro, so real big picture, wages can't outpace inflation on the regular because it just gets to be too much. Like so there's this give and take between wages. It kind of comes up and down. It's a bit of a roller coaster.
So even if you see it at a moment, you're saying it doesn't generally last.
It does not. So you don't want to get into an apples for apples is what I'm saying. The conversation, this idea that, well, inflation over the last quarter was this, so wages should have done that. It's not how that works. You're looking at the total. This is kind of a complex conversation, and I'm trying to keep it simple.
Keep it simple.
But, you can't force on companies this idea when you're in an inflationary period like we had been, if you go back about 2 years ago, and inflation's really, really high. You cannot expect companies to go, well, because inflation is up here, I got to raise everybody's wages, because that, again, that drives more inflation.
Right.
Because when they raise wages, they're raising their expenses, they pass those expenses. So you got to be careful is my point. So this back and forth and trying to keep that's not what you want. What's interesting about this article, as you were talking, that I saw, the reason why people feel and really see it at the grocery store. By the way, we saw this talked about in the media leading up to this last election.
That's right.
You saw it on MSNBC. You saw it on CNN and Fox. My point is, it didn't matter what side of the aisle. Everybody was feeling the pinch on a lot of consumer goods. And this is what's interesting. If you look at 2019, so this is right before the pandemic. Remember, just kind of a quick history lesson, because this is crazy. It doesn't seem like it was that long ago.
No, it doesn't.
But here we sit, almost 5 years. We're almost 5 years to the day, not quite, but 5 years, a couple weeks, when the pandemic really begins to hit the U.S.
March.
That's when it started going bananas, but we now know it was at the Super Bowl.
That's right.
in Miami.
Right.
We nobody knew.
Yeah.
All right, so here's the point. So if we're January 2025, if you go to December 2019, U.S. prices cumulatively are up 23%. That's where people are feeling it. For instance, a 4-pound bag of Domino sugar now costs $4.46. That's 74% more
than 2019.
Compared, a dozen eggs, $4.90. That's 83% more. Tide liquid. I could keep going on and on. Why? These are the staples. So when you're buying these every week, these aren't your splurges.
Yeah, you feel it.
So that's interesting.
So, well, that's kind of, I mean, it goes back to our conversation earlier when we were talking about the tariffs and new administration and that sort of thing. If we were feeling it before and it was because of other issues, back then, right now they're saying the prices are up because of, all sort. It could be utilities and insurances for businesses to run. And so they're passing that along to the consumer. It could be extreme weather, right, with crops. And so because of that price is passing on to the consumer. But then if you add, I don't know, other things coming into this. So you're saying, basically what you're saying is, no, the consumer has every right to feel this. And even if they have...
it's real.
Yeah.
So here's what's happened. You can't get all hung up in inflation cost per month, because what happens is you have large spikes. So back to the quick timeline. This will be helpful for folks. We go into the pandemic, Jade, starts in, let's call it 2020, early 2020. And the whole world shuts down. All right. So in that moment, you did have multiple, let's call it storms, converging for a massive, once in a generation, I hope, financial storm.
Yeah.
One, the scarcity, because we had supply chains interrupted. The whole world shut down for a while. Every state was different. Every country, it was like, what are we doing? Secondly, demand did increase a couple months in when people started going, okay, I'm at home, I'm working from home, but I got to have food. Remember, we saw liquor stores, things spike.
They went crazy.
So here's what happened. This is interesting. So all of that comes into natural economic factors, which makes demand higher and scarcity, and that created an increase. Here's what this article says, and it's absolutely right. I'm reading from this article, big price increases are rarely followed by equally big price decreases.
That's right.
Well, it's like, that's what I want to tell everybody.
It's not going to go back to what it was.
That's the key point. While the inflation rate has cooled, your $4 sugar is here to stay.
It's not leaving.
That's what's unfortunate.
Well, that's
unless you get into depressionary and very serious recessionary forces, that can make those go down. But by and large, if we stay in a somewhat healthy economy, Jade, these prices are here to stay.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's gone up 25%, but over the last year, it's gone up less than 1%. So it's not still climbing at that ridiculous rate.
Good news, bad news.
Yeah.
Good news is inflation as we see it has cooled. Bad news is companies don't just go, well, you know what? For the last 5 years, people have been paying $4.66 for this sugar, and we used to sell it for only $2. Let's go back to that.
They're not going to go back.
And so there comes in the evil capitalism cries and the rub between. And by the way, this is the tension that exists in America today.
Absolutely.
Is people go, wait a second. You used to charge me this. Now you're charging me this.
Come on. Think about it.
And so there's the tension.
Sam and I went out to dinner, and everybody has the menus on the screen now that you do the QR, which I hate.
I'm tired
because
of that.
it makes you get your phone out at dinner.
Not going
but
to those
they figured
places.
out that was one of the things that they figured out. This is a lot cheaper for us,
Right.
and we ain't going back.
Yeah, they're not going to print menus. You know what else they figured out? Go to the coffee shop in my neighborhood. Sweet little gal makes me a coffee, then turns the screen and goes,
Would you like a tip?
I feel like going, no, I just want my coffee.
Whew.
This is The Ramsey Show.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.
So I've kind of gotten myself or my life into a big mess, and I stumbled across your show, and I'm trying to take steps to get out of debt. So I guess I would be in baby step 2.
Good.
Yes. The problem I'm running into is before I came across your show, me and my fiance, I was really big on trying to get us to kind of put our money together and kind of tackle this together. Now that I've kind of came across that, I learned it's a big no-no to put your money together before you are married. And I am the breadwinner of our house. We have 10 people in my home. So we have 5 children, and then I just adopted my nephew, and I have his big brother at my house too. So I'm feeling all of this pressure. I work 2 full-time jobs, and I'm just trying to
What does your fiance
get control.
do?
He works a full-time job at the hospital, working on hospital equipment.
Okay. What does he earn?
He annually probably about 50.
And
I
what
want
do
to
you
say
earn?
when I looked at his. Last year I made 160.
Doing what now? What do you do?
I'm an ultrasound technician.
You're working a lot then.
I do full-time nights, and then I take call full-time days. So I pretty much do 24-hour
See, the
shifts.
2 of you, and the 2 of you have 5 children?
I had 2 from a previous marriage. Well, not marriage, just relationship. And then I put myself through school as a single mom, and then I got my career, and then I met him, and we got pregnant quickly. And then since then, we've been together for 6 years.
Okay. All right.
And you guys have 3 kids together?
And he's your
We
fiance.
have 3 together.
And when are you
We've been
planning?
engaged.
When are you planning to get married?
Well, at first, we put it on hold because my father fell ill, and I was his caretaker. And then we just haven't done it. One, finances. I felt like it was silly to spend money for a wedding.
Well,
But
let me
since
ask you
then,
this. I'm just curious, and I'm not trying to be sarcastic or anything, but you're functioning in every way almost as if you're married now and have been for some time. So what's the difference in that and getting married this weekend for $50?
I'm scared because
What are you scared of? You already have children. You live together. You support him. What is there to be scared of?
My child from another relationship and my nephew that I just got custody of, they're not big fans of him. And
They're
I
not
just
what?
feel like I don't know
Big
if
fans
they're
of
not
him.
fans. Yeah, like I feel like there's red flags. They don't like him. They think I deserve better.
6 years.
Yeah.
2 children. Too late to ask some child their opinion of this guy.
Yeah.
They don't get a
I mean,
vote.
we're in therapy together, working on some relational issues.
Do you feel like you'll be with him long term? I mean, do you want to marry him?
I mean, most of the time I do feel like that, but it's more like we go through the motions of raising our kids. So sometimes I wonder, like, once the kids are grown up, the longevity, if that makes sense. Sometimes it feels like we're in this.
You guys are fabulous can kickers.
You've kicked the can, kick the can, kick the can, kick the can, put it off, kick the can, put it off, all these reasons, and then still functioning as if you're married. And the reason I'm bringing all this up is it's not working for you. I'm listening to you, and there's no fun in your voice at all.
I think there's just a lot of fear, and I felt a lot of pressure because he's coming to me now, and he's like, okay, let's put our money together. And I'm like, we're not married.
No, we're going to get married is what we're going to do. Or we're not going to put our money together. And also, if I woke up in your shoes, what would I do? That's how I answer questions here, okay? So my friend Henry Cloud is a famous psychologist, and he wrote a book called Necessary Endings. And he says you end any relationship, whether it's your job, whether it's contact with an extended family who's toxic, whether it's a situation like you're in, whatever the relationship is, you end it only when you lose hope that it can get better and be right. Does that make sense? And so I'm not going to be sitting here this time next year, if I'm you, in this exact same quandary, wondering if this is going to be okay. We're going to get in there with this therapist and go, look, we're going to walk on this really, really hard for 90 days, and we're going to see some serious progress, or I'm going to call this.
Yeah.
That scares you even more, doesn't it?
It scares me because of the children. I don't want a broken home just because we're not.
But you need to decide, don't you? This painter get off the ladder, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't think the kids are suffering in this situation? Of course they're suffering. They're suffering from all this ambiguity. They don't know what the flip's going on because their mom doesn't know what the flip's going on, and their dad doesn't know what the flip's going on. And we're all just running around in circles trying to make enough money and throw it in the middle of a pot, and we're running a little commune over here, and it's not working relationally. Am I missing something?
Yeah. I think I'm just afraid to get married, and then he's...
You're afraid of not getting married. You're afraid of getting married.
Yeah, I just want to take care of my family, and I think it's,
here's the thing.
Financial-wise, it makes sense for us to get married, but personal...
No, it doesn't. Not if you're not going to be married, because marriage is grand, divorce is $50,000. No, we don't want to go through that. But you guys relationally need to make a decision. Okay? Are we the two adults in the household going to join forces and then take care of the little people? Or is it best for us and the little people to be separate? But if we're going to join forces, we need to get 6 years, and you guys are dancing and dancing and dancing and dancing and dancing. It's, because the other thing is you put all of your financial dreams and everything on hold in the process too. It's very difficult to make progress mathematically in this situation.
Yes,
and that's
I'm struggling with that.
That's what actually prompted your call, and then I got all Papa Dave on you. So, I just downloaded the Every Dollar budget app, which it's tough for me because my income fluctuates. So I'm struggling. You'll be able to do that really, really easy when the two of you are married, and you can put $210,000 in that puppy and start crunching through this stuff. And you and him are on the same page, and two grown-ups are running this house, not the kids. The kids don't get a vote.
Yeah. Well, it's new for me because he's never wanted to put our money together before. It's always just been very separate.
You don't want to put your money together until you're married, but you guys have got to make a decision about this marriage. You either need to make a decision, we're going to start working very hard on the relationship, and by this point... And that's just
for marriage to be the outcome.
Yeah, marriage is the outcome. Or we're going to call this. We're going to break this thing up. We're going to drop a grenade in the middle of it. Because what you're doing, you're telling us. We're not telling you. You're telling us what you're doing. The way you're doing life right now doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
I'm afraid to get married. I'm afraid to break up the house. I'm afraid I can't get traction with the money. I can't get control. This is what you called us and started saying. I'm just repeating it back to you. And so you can't keep doing the same thing over and over again and expect a different result. That's the definition of insanity, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's what you're going to have to do. Mm-hmm. I'm going to beg you as my new friend that I love, for the sake of you, for the sake of him, for the sake of these kids, you two need to look at each other and look at this therapist and go, okay, we're going to make a decision. And in the next 90 or 120 days, we're going to see such significant progress in this relationship that it's not perfect. There's always going to be some fear.
Yeah.
That's normal. But we're seeing progress to where we have hope enough that we can call this what
For
it
the
is,
future,
a
yeah.
marriage.
Yeah.
And then you put yourselves together, and then you start managing those little people, and you start managing those dollars, and it all starts coming together in a much cleaner way. But you run around trying to mother hen everything from the outside with no connectivity doesn't work. And no, you don't combine your money with him until you're married. Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.
Learn more at chministries.org/budget.
I had a question, basically. I'm 25. I just had twins 2 weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago.
Congrats.
And I actually had a stroke last week, a small one, but I'm doing better now, and I'm back at work, actually.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
I also have a toddler. He's 2, and that being said, about 2 years ago when my son was first born, I got into a really horrible financial decision. This was before I knew the Dave Ramsey show and everything that y'all preach about. I got a car from my wife because we needed 2 vehicles. I was working out of town. And when I say I have a horrible interest rate, it's horrible. It's 22%. It was a stupid decision. I'm debating on either doing a voluntary repossession. It's not that I can't afford the vehicle, but it's just I've had the vehicle 2 years, and $2,000 has been paid towards the principal with $500 a month payments. Another thing being said, I did recently get approved to get it refinanced at a lower interest rate, still not great, but it's at 13%.
I'll take it.
So I'm basically asking if I should refinance it or just go ahead and do a voluntary repossession.
Why can't you sell it? How far underwater are you?
It's pretty bad. The vehicle's worth $7,500, and I owe about $18,200. It was a horrible decision on my part. At the time, I was extremely desperate for a vehicle. Went to the first place I could, didn't even look around. She needed a vehicle, and I needed my truck for work. I was working about 4 hours from home at the time and staying out of town. And she, of course, had our newborn son, my oldest one, who is currently 2.
What other debt do you have?
I have a credit card I owe $400 on. I'm actually going to pay that off today. And then I have my truck, which I owe $7,000 on. That the truck loan, it is a low interest rate because I did a collateral loan on it. We moved into a house, renting it, and it was.
What's the truck worth?
The truck's worth pretty much what I owe on it. It's worth about $9,500, and then I have a vehicle that is paid off, another truck. So the reason I was debating voluntary repossession of the Jeep was I would give her the truck that I currently owe on. It's a nicer truck, big back seat. It'll fit all 3 of the kids, the double stroller in the back, and it's got the best AC I've ever had.
Why can't you drive the paid-off truck and sell the truck with the loan on it?
Yeah, that's what I'm currently doing. I'm currently driving my paid-off vehicle for work. I'm a welder, and then my other truck,
you said there's $2,000 in equity in that one.
Yeah, I could probably, if I were to sell this one, the paid-off one, I could probably get about $6,000 or $7,000 for it.
So why can't you sell that one and drive the one that's got $7,000 to go?
Because it's kind of a funny situation with that one. That one, I don't necessarily make the payment on it, if that makes sense. I have 12 siblings, and one of my younger brothers is actually making the payment on it every month. So he pays the insurance, he pays the payment every month. It was to kind of help him out in a sense and to kind of get rid of that payment for me.
How is that helping him out?
Well, because
he's making a payment on a car he doesn't drive.
Is he on it, or did you guys co-sign together?
No, the loan's completely in my name. My dad wrote us up a contract to where once the loan's paid off, the title goes to him. And then if for some reason he doesn't want the vehicle, by the time he pays it off, then everything he put into it, if he does not get any of it back, it would just go towards the loan balance, and then I would.
Okay, this financial inbreeding it needs to stop. This is chaos. What you guys have done to your family's finances.
Yeah, it's kind of a sticky situation because he's 18 and he went out and about, and he was going to be in the same situation I was in. He was actually he called me for advice today. He was about to. I said, man, I'm the last one you want to call for advice.
So let's not go down. Let's not trace that rabbit too far. So the car's supposed to go to him. There's $2,000 in equity in it. He's been paying the note. Can you just get this out of your hair and just?
Yeah, so that's our next step with the bank. We're actually talking to the bank about getting the truck that I have the loan on out of my name and financing it into his name.
Yeah.
The only situation with that is because he's only 18. they're wanting to give him a lot higher interest rate on
Okay,
it.
but that's
Even
not
though
your
nothing down or nothing.
That's
but,
not your problem. You need to give him the ultimatum of, hey, this weekend we either go and move this into your name, or I'm keeping it and I'm doing what I will with it. Like, that ends this weekend. That's what I'm doing.
And then what's your household income right now? Is wife staying home with the kids?
Yeah, she's a stay-at-home mom. I make about currently probably $5,000 a month net.
Okay. You guys have a lot of car in your life. You either need to save up the difference that you're underwater on, or you need to go get a loan for the difference to lower your debt amount. I don't know that you'll qualify for that, but do not do a voluntary repo. It's going to destroy your financial life. They're going to sell it at auction for pennies versus what you could sell it for, and then you're still going to owe the difference. Do not do this.
CHM isn't health insurance. It's a health cost-sharing ministry. Check it out for yourself at chministries.org/budget.
The reality is, Jade, is all morning and even late last night, I have been receiving texts and communicating with friends who are deliriously happy with the results. I have also been communicating with friends who are devastatingly sad. And I think it's important for this large audience to sit with that for just a moment and understand that's okay and that's normal to have those emotions. That is what makes a free society free, is the opportunity to express with great passion, also show up and vote. And the reality is it matters a great bit, and we know that. So I was thinking of 4 words, Jade, to challenge our audience and encourage our audience. If your side won last night, be classy. If your side lost last night, be hopeful. And if I could take those last 2 words, be hopeful, and challenge both sides of the aisle today, be hopeful, but be careful what you're hopeful in. I want you to be hopeful in you and your free will and your ability to achieve why you come to this show. And here's what you come to this show for: freedom. You come for freedom in your finances so that you can create the life that you want to create, that you can spend money on the things you want to spend on. You can solve the problems that you must solve problems in your life when they arise. You come to this show because you want to have an opportunity to climb the ladder, to make more money, to be able to do those things, to make the difference in the world through work that you desire to make. And you come to this show because relationships are hard and you want healthy relationships. Because if we don't have a healthy relationship, we have nothing. And so that's why you're here, and that's why we are here, is to help you get that freedom, Jade. So I want to give it to you.
That's why I voted for you, Ken.
Add your thoughts, because you understand this situation as well.
Hey, I mean, well put. Well, Ken, you were created for this moment. Very well put. I think it's an opportunity for both sides to just be magnanimous and be a good winner and a good loser, if that's whatever side you're on.
And begin today to focus on what you can do,
yes,
which is what we preach here. What can you do to make your life better? And to that end, we want to hit on some of the fundamentals here, because we believe that no matter who's in the White House, you can control the things that happen in your house and ultimately your life, Jade.
Listen, truthfully, the blueprint doesn't change regardless of who's in office. The good news is that what we teach is kind of based on principle, and principles don't change. And so the baby steps don't change. And so just a reminder, especially for those who are maybe new to our show, or maybe you just need to brush up because you've been freaking out in your mind a little bit. Let's bring it back for a second.
I like this.
All right. So baby step 1, you still need $1,000 saved. If you don't have it, get it. It's going to make you sleep better at night. You're going to be ahead of 56% of Americans if you get out and get that $1,000 saved. Baby step 2, let's start focusing on our debt. The lowest possible rung of that ladder is just to decide that you're not going to borrow any money anymore. And so let's not make the problem worse. Maybe you don't feel like you're in a situation to start paying it off, but at the very least you can say, well, I'm not going to borrow anymore. Okay. And then once you move past that step, start paying it off, using the debt snowball. And then baby step 3, let's start saving up some savings. 3 to 6 months is what we recommend. That's a fully funded emergency fund. And let me tell you something, Ken, when you have that, then things start to get good. You start to feel a lot better.
That's that margin. That, by the way, that's where that emotion of freedom pops in with that emergency fund, doesn't it?
It does, because you kind of go, no matter what hits, I feel prepared.
Yeah.
Right? And so you have that preparedness. And then baby step 4, let's start investing. You start investing for the future. This is preparing you for a time when maybe you won't work, because that time will hit all of us eventually. So we're investing 15%.
All right. Hey, I got to jump in because you're the queen of this.
What?
I want you to give a real example. Maybe get your investment calculator. I didn't prep you for it.
That's all right. Come on.
Come get your calculator, because I'm going to set a scenario up, because I want people to get this. What Jade's talking about is, let's say that you're in your early 20s, Jade. I'm going to give you a scenario. So take somebody early 20s.
Yeah.
Maybe they're fresh out of college right now. First job. First presidential election. Let's make it real.
Okay.
And they're going, what does this mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you go, come on, just pay attention to the baby steps right now. And they got a good job. And let's say that they have no debt. Or they're thinking, okay, if I follow what Jade says, I'm going to start entering. I'm going to start putting some money in.
Okay.
You create your own scenario of what baby step 4 really looks like for every American. You take it away.
Okay. So let's pretend. I mean, set me up better than that, Ken, because I don't know exactly where you're going.
Okay, I'm sorry. So let's say we've got a 27-year-old.
Okay, so I'll put 27 in the calculator.
All right.
Okay.
And let's say that they can put that they're in baby step 4.
Okay.
Or that they see, what would it look like in baby step 4? Let's put it that way. You're not there, but you go, okay, what if I could put away, let's say 15% on a salary of, I'm going to make this up. Let's say we're going to put away $2,000 a month.
$2,000, that's a lot.
All right, go 1,000. I told you, you're the queen.
Let's
$1,000.
Let's do 500.
See, this is why I defer to you. You're the queen.
Well, let me see what I'm going to base it on. I'm going to base it on the average salary, which is $67,000.
Like what you're doing.
And then I'm going to say 15% of that, which, because we take it off the gross, which is $10,000.
Perfect.
And then I'm going to divide that by
12 months. I love it.
And that's going to be $837. Right. So we'll do that.
There you go. And to be fair, I threw this on her. But
that's okay.
You see where we're going?
Yeah.
I want people to not just hear that. I want them to see what you're about to do.
The idea is that you've not had anything in retirement up until this point, and so you say, okay, I'm going to start doing that. And lo and behold, you retire with $4.1 million.
Okay, there it is. That's all I wanted.
Yeah. So the dream is the dream is alive and well.
All right, keep going. Baby step 5. I'm sorry, I interrupted your rhythm, but I like that.
I like that. People need to see that the dream is free. The hustle is sold separately. You got to do the work. All right. Baby step 5, now you're saving for your kids' college and you're getting them into education, which is good. Baby step 6, let's pay off that home early, Ken.
Wow. That's a game changer when that happens.
Yeah. And by the way, we have a really cool stage here at Ramsey Solutions. Yeah. It's the debt-free stage. And people come in and they tell us when they become debt-free, and they scream with, just that intensity. And half the time, they've also paid off their mortgage as well.
So true.
And so this happens every day. And then baby step 7 is living and giving like no one else. This is us prioritizing generosity, because it's such a foundation of everything we teach here. Yep. Usually your why lives in baby step 7.
Come on. So here's what we want. Jay did a masterful job of laying out the fundamentals that lead to financial freedom. There's more. Our team has put together a great blog post. It's in the show notes, and here's what's going to encourage you. Emotionally, it's going to encourage you that no matter how you're feeling about who's going to be in the White House, you can take all that stress and worry and put it into steps to actually take control of your life. And we are here for you 5 days a week, cheering you on. Go get the blog. It's a deeper dive from what Jay just did, and it's going to really equip you, not just encourage you.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.
Hey guys, I'm your host, Rachel Cruz, and welcome to Dave Ramsey's Greatest Hits, where we're looking back at the best moments from the last 10 years of The Ramsey Show on video. So for this episode, we've handpicked some of the wildest calls and rants from the last decade. And honestly, I still can't get over some of these situations. So check it out.
Channing is with us in Washington, D.C. Hi, Channing. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave. Thank you for having me.
Sure. What's up?
So I live in D.C. I just recently got married about 3 months ago.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And my husband and I have really decided we need to be really focused on the same page about our finances. We actually have our first class of financial peace this evening.
Oh, cool.
But together we have probably just under $1 million in debt, and we want to know how to get debt-free without filing bankruptcy.
Okay. How much of that is a mortgage?
The mortgage, about $210,000.
So you have $600,000 in what?
$335,000 is about in student loans. We both have advanced degrees, and then a lot. The rest is really credit cards and personal loans.
So you have $300,000 of credit cards and personal loans?
We have about $335,000 student loans, and then about $136,000 in credit cards, $44,000 personal loans, and $35,000 car loans.
Okay. How old are you all?
I'm 29.
Okay. So what in the world?
Yeah.
I mean, are you both on this, or is this just one of you that's completely lost your mind?
Well, I have the majority of the student loans, and he has the majority of the credit cards. My credit card debt is not great.
Okay,
it's
so
about
why does he at 29 years old run up $100,000 in credit card debt?
Well, he's 32, but I think it's one of those things where just making really poor financial decisions, thinking be able to pay it down as you go, and then it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And
okay, so you both have advanced degrees. What are your degrees in?
We do. So I have a degree, both of our advanced degrees. No, he has an MBA, and I have an advanced degree in policy. I work in the government, and we actually both do now at this point, actually.
Okay, so your household income is what?
Our household income is about $230,000.
Okay, all right. Is there recognition on both of your parts how absurd this situation is?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, there is.
Right.
So I think we're both a bit scared and want to do anything we can to avoid.
Okay, great. Then I'm on your team. I can skip that step. Okay, good. Okay, well, you're scared, and you should be. You're disgusted, and you should be.
We are.
You're in the early stages of being sick and tired, and you should be. So here's the thing. You guys have been living at across the board, from your education choices to your car purchases to your whatever. You've been living at about 10x where you're going to get to live for the next 3 years.
Okay. Yep, that's true.
So I'm getting ready to destroy your life as you know it. Because your lifestyle is considerably above your extremely good income. And has been for a period of time. And so you've gotten used to spending like you're in Congress.
Right.
This is going to be very emotional for y'all. And you're going to have to look at it through that lens and through a spiritual lens, or you're not going to make it. You're going to have to not care what anyone thinks, including each other, because you're not going to spend any money on anything ever for the next 3 years. Like you've been let's pretend you're making $210, and I know you just got married, but let's pretend you'd been doing this as a couple as you went along. You've been making $210, spending $310. I'm getting ready to put you on 30.
Okay.
You're not going to see the inside of a restaurant unless it's your extra job, or you're waiting on some of the people you work with during the day.
Okay.
This is how humbling this is going to be.
Quite.
It's going to crush a lot of crap in your soul that caused you to do this. So the bad news is it's going to be really rough. The good news is it's going to be great for you guys relationally, spiritually, and financially. But you're not going to make the financial unless you make the relational and the spiritual move, because I know you guys because I was you guys. This is exactly what I did. It's exactly what I did in my 20s. I bought and purchased a lifestyle that was 5 to 10x what I had.
Yeah.
And it was all because of crap inside of me that caused me to do that.
Right.
And all of that has to be destroyed to fix it.
Absolutely.
Is this making any sense, or is this too brutal?
No, it's making a lot of sense, and it's brutal.
I'm warning you what's coming, okay? This is not a math problem. The math problem is the symptom. The problem is what's going on inside of you guys. So the great news is you're very smart people. And if you will apply that intellect to solving this problem as if it were a policy problem or a business problem, you can solve the problem. But the lens by which the problem will be solved is through spiritual contentment. Godliness with contentment is great gain. Translation, you're going to pull up at a stoplight driving a piece of crap car next to people that have an income a fourth of yours with a nicer car than yours.
Right.
And you're not going to care. That's going to be the cool part.
Okay.
You're going to reach the point you don't care what other people think. And that might be a fair journey for you or him. I don't know which one it is, but some of you guys you've been purchasing a lot of stuff for a lot of reasons that are going to change.
Yep. They have to.
Yeah, they have to, because you're on a suicide mission right now.
Oh.
I mean,
his credit cards are actually bundled with one of those like debt relief programs where we put a pot of money with them and then they negotiate on your behalf. So we're not even paying on the bulk $124,000 of the credit cards right now.
Yeah, you're going to probably have to pull out of that. I don't know how quickly, but the problem with those people is they don't follow through, and they administratively are really, really, really pitiful. They're incompetent. And so you're going to find the concept of what they pitched you is not completely bad, but you're going to find their follow through it will make your bones chill. So you're probably going to pull back out of those. But then we're just going to list these debts smallest to largest. What's the home worth?
What's the home life, you said?
No, what is your home worth?
Oh, my home worth. Oh, I think that, let's see, according to Zillow, the home is worth about $300,000.
Okay, so you have a little bit of equity there, but not enough. Not enough to save you. So I always sell the home as the last resort unless it's the problem, and it's not the problem here.
Okay.
Ratio-wise, it's nothing compared to this other stuff. I mean, you have $330,000 in student loan debt, $200,000 on your house.
Right.
It's not the problem, and the credit cards are almost as much as a stinking house. So it's not the problem. So I don't think we got to sell it. You probably may need to sell a car. Not going to rush to do that. The big thing is just this shock to the system of your all's lifestyle, where you go from really living what we call in Tennessee high on the hog to you're going to be living beans and rice and beans. Your friends are going to think you've lost your mind, and your mother's going to think you need counseling.
Yeah, and we live with my parents now. After we got married, they offered us to stay with them to help us, with transitioning to new life, which has definitely been helpful. Renting out the
who's
condo.
living in your house?
So I put my condo up for rent when I got engaged because I knew I wanted to save money for the wedding before we got married. So I had a renter in there the last year, actually looking for another renter. Our lease ends in a month.
Oh, well, just sell it then. I thought you lived in it.
No, we don't live in it.
Oh, just sell it and put the $90,000 on your debt, Snowball. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't need it. You're not going to move in it. You don't need to own it.
No, we're never going to live in it. It was one of those.
Yeah.
That was my first baby.
That's okay.
So now
Yeah, it's gone. It's gone though. You need the $90,000 to get a jump start on the rest of this. So that just got rid of a third of your deal.
Okay.
Right. So we're getting started. Jake's with us. Hi, Jake. How are you?
Hi, Dave. I'm doing great. How about you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
So I am 16. I'm going on 17 in about 2 weeks now. And I live with my mother. She is a very traditional mother, as in the fact that she hasn't really adapted to how everything's going on the internet these days, if you know what I'm explaining. She's very old-fashioned and doesn't kind of get a grasp on what's going on.
Okay, I'm having trouble hearing you. You're not speaking directly into your phone.
Can you hear me better, Dave?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Your mother is a traditional mother, and what's your question?
So I make around 50 to 70 to 80K a month doing e-commerce.
Wait a minute. You're making $50,000 a month at 16 years old?
Yes, sir.
Are you telling me the truth?
Yes, sir. I do e-commerce, so I run drop shipping websites through Shopify. I do eBay or Amazon to eBay arbitrage, and just a bunch of various side hustles, and usually go through the internet. And my question is, she has no idea I'm doing this and I have all my profits stored in a PayPal account because she is joint on my bank account. And I would love to tell her, but like I said, with her being so traditional, I already know that she will be very, very skeptical of what I'm doing. And I'm fearing that she's going to make me put an end to it just because she's already told me, because I've expressed my passion of wanting to be an entrepreneur, and she's traditional in the way that.
How much is in your PayPal account?
I got a little bit over $300,000.
So you've been doing this for 4 or 5 months, 6 months?
No, it's been about 8 months. The first few months were slow, and then it picked up rather fast.
Where's your father?
He's divorced. He's in a different state.
Not in your life?
I mean, we talk, but I wouldn't say he's, a father figure. He's more kind of like.
Are you in a good church?
A friend, I guess.
Are you in a good church?
Yes, sir.
How do you feel about your pastor?
Very, very close.
Have you talked to him about this?
I have not, no. Okay. I honestly, I haven't told anybody. I haven't even told any of my friends.
Well, I wouldn't tell your friends. That'd be very unwise.
No, of course.
That'd be very unwise. Okay, so
absolutely nobody knows.
How large is the church that you go to?
Probably about 30 people.
Okay, very small. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, here's kind of what's going on in my head. Okay. If you have the ability to make $50,000 a month, you know, as soon as you're 18 years old, you can go do whatever you want to do, right?
Right.
And that's just about a year away.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Okay. So, if you were my son and you were doing this, and you told me you don't want to go to college and you want to move out and be an entrepreneur, I would say, have at it, dude. You're making $50,000 a month. My God. I'm not saying, I don't know if you can do that for the rest of your life. You may have just caught a wave right here. And, you know, as you know, things on the internet change rapidly.
Yes.
And you could, I don't know what all you're doing here. I've never heard of anybody doing the volume you're doing the things you described. But
so I run 3 different websites, and they sell different merchandise.
I know what you're doing. I just never heard anybody pull this off at the volume you're pulling it off. So I'm not questioning your integrity. I'm believing you, but I'm just saying you're doing something pretty unusual, and so I don't know how sustainable it is long term. And so I would tell you, number one, I would pull out at 18 and go start and keep doing this and just build your own thing out and have a blast and go make some money while you can. I would not say you're going to do this 20 years because you're not. It's not going to exist in 20 years. There's too much change on the way business is done on the internet. You know, you might have a 2-year window, you might have a 5-year window. I don't know. And so I would commit to myself, if I were you, that when the thing does turn down, I might want to seek out an education at that point to give me knowledge to do other things. And it'd be great to have some business acumen from a business degree if you're sitting on a couple $1 million, you know? So knowledge is valuable. Going to college is valuable. Do you have to do that to make a living? Well, crud, no, dude. I mean, you're killing it, you know? So go pile up as much money as you can. So that's part of our thing. I'm really uncomfortable participating in you deceiving your mother.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And so my fear is we have such a close relationship.
Yeah, and I think deception is never a good rule.
Right.
And
I don't want to hide it from her. I just can't.
No, that's not true. You have hidden it from her, so you wanted to.
Okay.
So you feel bad about it, but you've got your reasons for hiding it are bigger than your reasons for disclosure right now. And so what I'm trying to get in my head is I would love for you to search out someone that is trusted by you spiritually and with business acumen, and that is trusted by her, that could mediate this discussion with the two of you.
Okay.
Could participate with you sitting down and going, okay, Mom, our friend George is here. He understands business and the internet, and he understands spiritual things and values, and he cares about both you and me. And I wanted him to be present because I want to tell you some things that have been going on. I have $400,000, $300,000. This is the stuff I've been doing on the internet. I'm very good at it. I'm a child prodigy. You know, you are. And but I think you just sitting down with your mom is not going to go well.
Okay.
And so I'm trying to pull in that right person that could kind of be a mentor to you and give you a little buffer, but it's got to be someone she trusts, because if you bring in some character that she thinks is a character, she's going to think they influenced you.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I want you to develop some kind of a strategy or a plan like that that allows you to not deceive your mom anymore.
Okay.
And it may take you a month.
That's the last thing I want to do.
Yeah, it may take you a month to put it together, and that's okay. And I'm okay with you leaving your money in your PayPal account and do whatever you want to do. That's all fine. There's no danger with any of that. And I'm okay with you continuing to do all of this. And I'm okay with you coming straight out of high school and making $600,000 a year. Dadgum. Life's rough, you know. But again, I don't think that's sustainable, because the current methodologies that you're using will not be there 5 years from today. And an education will give you the ability to do things that are sustainable and maybe step into the next thing with a little more zest. I also don't want you to have this unusual success at a young age, and it's the only time you have success, because you don't do foundational things that lead you into success when you're 32 as well as 22. So, wow, pretty incredible conversation. Thanks for calling in. I don't think I've had that one before. I've had a lot of different calls in 30 years on the show, but I don't think I've had that one. Chris is with us. Chris is in Dallas, Texas. Hi, Chris. How are you?
Hello, Dave. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
So I want to talk to you. I want to see if I can get some advice. And what would it be the best thing for me to do at this point? Mm-hmm. So my car got repossessed last week.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And I've been behind on a couple of payments. So by the time I made up the payments, they still came and got it.
Yeah. So how much was your car payment?
I'm sorry?
How much was your car payment?
$1,100 a month.
Oh! What kind of car was this?
It's a luxury SUV, Cadillac. I got it.
So how much did you owe on said car?
Still owe about $27,000.
So your interest rate was ridiculous?
No, it's just an expensive car. My interest rate was, I think it was 5.9, which, I guess is kind of bad for a car.
Yeah. And what's your household income?
Right now, I make about $175 a year.
Okay, making $175 a year. Why did you not keep your car payment paid?
Because, man, so I have other debt that I'm paying on as well.
How much other debt do you have?
Well, I have another work truck that I use for my company to run my business, which I pay $600 a month on that one.
What kind of truck is that?
It's just a pickup. It's a work truck pickup.
For $600 a month?
Uh-huh.
For a work truck? For a pickup truck?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What do you do for a living?
I'm in the vending business.
Okay. All right. And what is that pickup worth?
The pickup is really upside down. I don't really know how much it's worth.
What do you owe on it? What do you owe on it?
On the pickup truck, I still owe about $20,000.
Almost as much as on the other car. Okay.
Yeah, I just got it about a year ago.
Yeah. All right. And what other debts have you got, sir?
Well, I have my house.
How much is your house payment?
House payment is $1,500 a month.
Okay.
It's actually $1,700.
Gotcha. And what else?
Mm-hmm. And I have my wife's vehicle as well, which that one still owe about $13,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your work truck is nicer than your wife's car. Okay.
Well, my work truck, it's really beat up now. I think.
Yeah, it's nicer
really
than you owe more on it than your wife's car. I got you. Go ahead.
Yes.
How much other debt?
And so total debt, I don't know, Mom.
Not. Have you got any other debt other than these 3 cars in your house?
No. No, that's it. A couple credit cards. I think I have about $6,000 worth of credit cards.
There's still no reason making $175,000 a year. You're talking about $175,000 profit?
No, that's before taxes and before expenses. So, overall, I'll probably make about, after taxes and everything, about 120.
No, not after taxes, after your business expenses.
Right.
Because you understand the difference in gross profit or gross revenues and net profits?
Correct. Uh-huh.
What is your net profits of your business before taxes are paid?
About 175.
Okay, so that's just before taxes is all. So how old are you? 28?
No, sir, I'm 39.
Okay, because you're out of freaking control, dude. I mean, you know that, right?
Yes, I know that.
Okay.
I know that, and this just happened within the last couple of years. Back when I got these vehicles.
Okay,
I was
so
doing
here's
pretty
what I
well.
would do. Here's what I would do. The car that was $1,100 was insanity. It's gone. What was that car worth?
It's worth about maybe $37,000 because I kept up with it.
Okay, and you only owed $27 on it.
Correct.
Have you talked
So
to
I
them?
have
Have you
about
talked to them about
$9,000
what? Have you talked to them about what it takes to get it back?
Yes. Yes. In fact, I just talked to them a few.
What's the deal?
They want $3,500 from
That's
me
all.
to get it out.
That's all.
That's it. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you put $3,500 in, you turn around and sell the truck, you make $10,000 and you get your $3,500 back plus $6,500, right?
Yeah, somewhere around there, about $9,000. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So put the $3,500 out there, get the truck back, and turn around and sell it immediately.
That's what I thought about doing.
Yeah, that's what you need to do. That's what you need to do because this truck is stupid. Anything that sounds like an $1,100 car payment is straight up stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, man. I mean, it's just nuts. And what's even crazier is making all this money, you didn't even bother to pay the bill.
Yes, I know that.
That's just crazy land. Okay, so that tells me you're out of control. You don't have any kind of a money management system going inside your house. I'm picking on you, but for your own good, because, dude, you're just so freaking smart. You have the ability to make so much money. Let me tell you what I was doing when I was your age, okay? Or not when I was your age, when I was 10 years younger than you. I thought I could out-earn my stupidity. I thought I could make enough to be stupid.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what you've been doing, isn't it?
Yes.
Because you know how to make money.
Yes.
You're good at making money. You're just not good at managing it once you get it. Am I wrong?
That's correct. No, you're exactly right.
Because stupid people don't make $175,000. You're not stupid. You're just doing some stupid stuff on the spending side of this equation. So you got to turn this around. Yes. You got so much potential, man. There's so much you're going to do right. So get that car back and get it sold. Drive your work truck. Let Mama drive her truck. Now you got $33,000 in debt, if I added this up right, not counting your house. Did I do that right?
That's correct.
But you're going to get $9,000 out of this transaction. Correct. And when you get that, you throw it at Mama's car. I want Mama's car paid off in 2 months. I want Mama's car paid off by Christmas.
Correct.
The money you make on the repo that you buy back and flip, plus any other money you squeeze out of your $175 income, Mama's car is debt-free by Christmas. Does that sound cool? Then we're going to pay that work truck off in just the next few months. And then you're going to start piling up some cash. And whatever you buy as a car in the future, you pay cash for it or you don't buy it. And hold on, I'm going to send you a copy of a book. If you promise Kelly you'll read the book, I'll give it to you. It's called The Total Money Makeover. And you need one. This is the Dave Ramsey Show. Mike's in Philadelphia. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show, Mike.
Hey, Dave.
What's up?
So a coworker introduced me to your show recently, and got really intrigued. And I got to say, I need a lot of help. I'm $451,000 in total debt. $252,000 of that is student loans. And I have $185 in a home loan, and I only bring in $70,000 a year. After pension and all that stuff taken out, it's more like $40,000. I just don't even know where to start.
What do you do for a living?
Law enforcement.
Okay, and how do you get $252,000 in student loan debt to be a policeman?
I went to a private institution because my mother wanted me to go there, to be honest with you. And I went there originally for finance, and I didn't do good at finance, so I switched my major to criminal justice, and then I eventually went on for a master's for it as well, which didn't really help my employment eligibility as much as I thought it would.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Is your mother wealthy?
No.
Mm.
No, my mother nor my father. I'm the first in my family to go to college.
Mm. Okay. Well, what we always look at mathematically, and you were in finance, so you know what to do with this, is I'm always looking at the ratio of what we call shovel to hole, the amount of hole that you're in versus the shovel that you have, your income, the debt you have to your income. Are you married?
No, I do have a girlfriend who lives with me and her daughter as well.
Mm. And what is this house worth?
The house is worth, I actually just purchased it. I'm not even going to, I purchased it in September, kind of off of a whim. My father passed away in July, and it was the last conversation we had. It was actually across the street from his house, and he really wanted me to get it. So I kind of, jumped in both feet, I guess, to honor him.
Yeah. And so you didn't put anything down, so the house is worth $185.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And you're how old?
I'm 31.
Okay. So when are you planning on marrying this girl?
She's currently in school to finish up for nurse practitioner school. So I would say maybe sometime after that.
Mm.
That should be done hopefully after January.
Mm. And does she have student loan debt?
She does.
How much?
I'm not sure because she's not really on board with all this. She can't. I've tried to bring this up to her when listening to your show recently, and her thing is I'm too busy with school and don't want to worry about that right now.
Yeah. Well, I think you're the voice of experience that says it's a good idea to worry about it. Otherwise, you end up a creek, which is where you are right now, and your paddle is real small. Okay. Well, let's look at this a couple ways. How old are you? 28?
I'm 31.
31. Okay.
Yes.
You and I haven't been friends long enough for me to be as blunt as I'm about to be, but I'm going to tell you anyway, okay? I'm going to risk our friendship and just tell you the truth, okay? You told me in a 5-minute conversation of 2 really stupid financial decisions you made from the influence of your mother and your father.
Right.
You bought things you couldn't afford with money you didn't have, both because of influence of those 2. At 31 years old, you were going to have to decide to love your parents but no longer be influenced to do financial decisions based on their opinions. Obviously, your father, God rest his soul, has passed, but even your perceived opinion of what he would have thought. You cannot please these people anymore. They are breaking your butt. You make $70,000 a year and you're so far in debt you can't breathe, dude. Buying a house you can't afford and going to a school you shouldn't have gone to and paid twice or 3 times as much for an education that most of which you didn't even need to do the job you do. Am I wrong?
Right. No.
Okay.
No, not at all.
All right. And so, number 1, that influence has to stop. Number 2, you can't afford this house as a single guy making $70,000 a year. You cannot afford a $185,000 house making $70,000 a year as a single guy. With $250,000.
Well, my girlfriend's bringing in about 89.
Yeah. Well, that doesn't count. You're not married. And if you're going to get married, you guys are going to have to get on the same page financially because the number 1 cause of divorce in North America today is money fights and money problems, and she's not even willing to talk about money. So we're not willing to talk about marriage until we're willing to talk about money. Because you're going to get divorced as soon as you get married. That's what happens to most people. It is the number 1 cause of divorce. How long have you been on the force?
4 years.
Okay. When you go on a domestic call, what are they fighting about? Money.
Usually money, yeah.
Okay. Tell me I'm wrong, all right? This is what's happening, and it's a dangerous call for you, too, because people are crazy. But, oh, Lord. So, yeah, you guys have got to sit down and go, we can't keep this house unless we're getting married, and we're not getting married unless we're going to get on the same page about the money. And we can't combine our incomes with people we're not married to. You can't go paying her debt. She can't go paying your debt. And this house isn't hers. It's yours. It's not in her name. It's in your name. So either let's just go ahead and get married and combine everything and attack these 2 student loan debts and try to keep the house, or let's just call it a day and get rid of the house, and then you guys figure out what you're going to do with your relationship and stuff later. Go rent something or whatever you're going to do, whatever you're doing before. But you know, so several big issues I've already hit on real hard. Number 1, we can't afford a house. Number 2, you guys, you need to be real careful about pursuing a long-term relationship until you can get on the same page about money. Number 3, unless you're married, you can't afford this house. Did I mention you can't afford this house? And then lastly, we got to do everything we can to get your income up with side hustle, side gigs. And you can get all kinds of OT in the department, right?
My department, not so much.
Okay.
I'd have to actually go I'd have to go outside of my department.
Oh, okay. They allowed you to do side work, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's good money.
Right.
Yeah, security is what, $40-$50 an hour, right? Particularly
depending on where you're at, yep.
Private security, yeah. And you need that money because you're broke.
Right.
So income up, out, go down, get real focused and real narrowed in your decision making so that you can clean this mess up. Because what you've got in front of you, this $252,000 student loan debt with a $70,000 income, is a mathematical nightmare. So we got to get your income up over 100. I'm going to guess and say you guys get married, and we're probably dealing with almost a $200,000 income at that point when the 2 of you are going, right? And but I'm also going to guess she's got a big pile of student loans too, so I'm probably dealing with $400,000 of student loan debt at that point. So probably you still can't afford the house. You're probably still going to rent something cheap, and you're not going to have any life for a while because you both have made a big hole that you're in, and you can't get out of a hole while you're digging at the bottom. So this is going to be very tough for you, Mike. You got a lot of influences in your life that have all brought bad decisions, so those influences have to stop, and then you've got to undo some of these bad decisions or course correct, because 5 years from today, if you keep doing what you're doing, well, 5 years, but it's a lot sooner than 5 years from today, you're going to be bankrupt. You're heading straight at the wall with the accelerator on the floor. I'm not against somebody having a history degree. I'm not against somebody having a history degree. We need to know history. History is important. I like history. I would not say I'm a history buff, but there are sections of history I get really interested in and dive down into, and I think it's very valuable to know history. But if you're a father out there and you have an 18-year-old daughter right now and she's about to go $60,000 to get into debt to get a history degree, you need to replay that last call. You need to listen to what just unfolded. A lady came out of college with a history degree and $60,000 in student loan debt. She and her soon-to-be ex-husband ran up $50,000 in credit card debt, borrowed $10,000 on the car, and Daddy tried to help her and loaned her another $20,000. She's got $136,000 in debt and a $20,000 income. Did you hear that call, America? And you and I, as the taxpayers, guaranteed the loan that led her down this primrose path, and we call that a student loan. And we call that a help to our culture. I missed where the lady got helped. Oh, by the way, it's not bankruptable. It never goes away. It's a single mom trying to feed 3 kids, and half of her debt is for a history degree. And her answer to make more money and get a career is go back to school again. Somebody please smack me. Unbelievable. Do you hear the messaging in this? There's something broken, and I'll tell you what it is. It's called the student loan program, and it's called you parents. Here's an idea, parents. Parent. Look at your 18-year-old child and don't look at them like they have any sense. They walk around in adult bodies. They don't have any sense. They don't have any sense. They're going to go 60 and 80 and 120 and $140,000 in debt to get a history degree. And I'm not against history degrees. But for goodness sakes, if you're going to do that, pay for it in cash. So you don't have this hanging around your neck for the rest of your life. So what's she going to do? She's going to have to retool and enter a different field in order to get her income up. Have the backbone, dads, moms, to look at your child and say, no, that course that you're on, that career path that you are tracking and the amount of debt you're going into, I'm not going to participate in that. I'm going to look at you and say, you are stupid. No, 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 no. Love your child enough when they're 17 and 18 years old to assist them in choosing a reasonable career path with no debt. No, you can't go out of state. You don't borrow money to cross the state line. That's known as stupid. Stupid. You go to the University of Tennessee if you live in Tennessee. If you live in Alabama, you go to Auburn or you go to Alabama. If you graduate from one of those three schools, you got a good degree in whatever field you're in. To cross the state line and quadruple the cost of doing it and not have the money to pay cash for it is stupid. Stupid. What'd you pay? Well, I went deeply in debt. To do what? So I could go out of state. What? What? You went into debt to go out of state? You didn't go into debt for your education. You went into debt so you could live in a one-bedroom apartment with a jacuzzi and a skylight and a racquetball court? And you called this your college experience? Somebody ought to smack you into next week. And it should have been your parents who loved you enough to stop you from doing it and not participate in this. This stuff drives me bananas because now I got this little sweet little lady. Bless her little heart. She's just broken. She's trying to raise 3 kids on her own. And she's got $20,000 a year. You understand that's below the poverty level. And she's got a history degree with $60,000 in credit card debt or student loan debt and $50,000 in credit card debt to go with it. And I'm going to go off for 2 hours on that one too. But parents, please parent because your government is stupid. It is we, the people, the taxpayers, we're so stupid. We're so enamored with the acquisition of degrees that we have agreed to guarantee loans for 18-year-olds who have no job history and no assets. Any banker that made this loan would be fired for incompetence. But you and I, the taxpayers, are guaranteeing this, all in the name of the acquisition of sheepskins. Because if you don't get a degree, you can't win. No, honey, if you're stupid, you can't win. Get a degree. I'm all about education, but do it in such a way that you pay for it and that you pay only for the education. You do not finance the experience on student loan debts that last forever. They last when your child is sick. They last when you go through a divorce. They last when your husband dies early or your wife dies early. They last when your father gets cancer and you want to go home and spend time with him. They last forever as your life happens. Do not sign up for this stuff. It's going on and on and on and on. We now have $1 trillion of this stuff. Oh, and by the way, the government agency that's supposed to love on you and take care of you while you were so noble that you pursued your education and we, the people, guaranteed your education loans. Well, this from Huffington Post. Federal consumer regulators take an aim at the Department of Education's preferred companies for servicing the agency's $1 trillion in student loan debts, highlighting potentially poor customer service. Really? You just found that out, huh? And raising the specter of increased government scrutiny. The move relied on the Education Department surveys, which grade the 4 preferred companies that service these loans and determine how many new loans each will receive in the coming year to service as a new crop of students enter college and graduate. Sallie Mae ranks the worst in borrower, school, and federal personnel satisfaction. The CFPB official noted, citing the surveys. Referring to the Education Department documents, said Sallie Mae will receive the fewest new loans to service in the upcoming school year. Borrowers stuck with Sallie Mae or any other servicer who wish to switch to another have little ability to do so. The apparent public shaming comes as Sallie Mae contends with numerous probes, including investigations by federal banking regulators and the Department of Justice over its handling of student loans and treatment of the borrowers. Despite Sallie Mae's track record, which Elizabeth Warren describes as a pattern of breaking the rules and ignoring its contractual obligations, the Education and Treasury Departments appear to have given little more than a slap on the wrist to the company. So we found out by doing a survey, the federal government discovered that Sallie Mae's incompetent. Where the flip have you people been? We've known that for decades. But she's servicing all these loans that never go away. A student loan lasts forever. No matter what bad things happen in your life, until you make enough money to pay it off. It's not bankruptable. It survives disability. It survives divorce. Well, it won't survive disability, but it'll take you 4 years to get it off. So just go ahead and get ready to deal with Sallie Mae and their incompetent people on that. So we're encouraging people to do stupid things to get an education. We the people. I had a student loan. I did it too. Almost everybody listening had a student loan. And so what am I saying? I'm saying this is a bad philosophy. And the only way to preempt it is to educate the moms and dads and encourage them to be good parents, and to educate the 18s and 17 and 16-year-olds and encourage them to only pay for education, not for crossing state lines, unless you've got the cash to pay for it. And don't go somewhere to school and run up $200,000 in debt to get a history degree. You'll be what's known as screwed. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.
Okay, you guys, if you liked what you heard today, there's a lot more to come. So make sure to watch our next episode all about wealth building. The advice in these videos has helped millions of people change their lives. You don't want to miss it. In the meantime, make sure to share this video with a friend who loves a little drama. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.
My wife and I are in a bit of a situation. We have, both of us have student debt, student loans. We have a credit card, and my dad has a Parent Plus loan. Now, the education system hasn't really told us what to do for a Parent Plus loan, but we have been educated now. Mm-hmm. So basically, we're wondering if we can use a mortgage loan from buying my dad's property that he was going to give to us anyway, to pay off my wife's student loans in addition to the Parent Plus loan that is on his credit, plus, a credit card.
How much total debt do you have?
Total debt is around, including the credit card, would probably be 110.
110. That's both student loans and the credit card, but not including the Parent Plus loan, which is in your dad's name.
Including the Parent Plus loan, plus the mortgage that is on the current place that I have right now, which is only about $23,000.
So you have a home right now?
No. So
this is your dad's place?
Yeah, I'm basically renting it from him. The mortgage is all still in his name, that I'm just paying it directly.
This feels all out of sorts. Okay, yeah. So there's $23,000 left on the mortgage. You're living there. Yep. You're essentially paying rent, which covers the mortgage, but you're paying it directly to the mortgage company?
Yes.
Through your bank account.
It's only $460 a month.
Okay.
You can't rent for that.
And you're saying your dad wants to now sell you the house. You would then take on a bigger mortgage in order to do so?
So, no, he's not going to get any profit from this.
Okay. So explain to me how the mortgage goes down.
He was already going to give it to me, the land of 5 acres and the house.
When he passes?
No. already.
That's
He
a
already
terrible
built the house.
idea.
So he was already going to give it to me, but now we have this debt that we need to consolidate.
Why do you need to consolidate it?
Because, well, the credit card interest is out the roof. I mean, again, it's only 10 grand, but the student loans, you know, he makes double what I make. I make about 53. He makes six figures. So on the Parent Plus loan, we've agreed that I'd pay that back. That was an agreement we made in high school when I was young and dumb.
Why not
So
just
I'm
keep the current
still having to pay
situation?
that.
You have basically low rent. Use your income and your wife's income.
Okay.
How much total do you guys make?
She makes 45 a year, and I make 53.
Okay, so about $100,000 a year. How quickly can we pay off $110,000? That becomes the equation, right?
Yep. I mean, we're looking at 7 years, but
No.
That's crazy. Your rent is $400, and it's going to take you 7 years to pay off $100,000.
well, it's the student loans too. So that's what we would pay to pay them off, or move the money around. But in the long term of having an income-driven student loan repayment plan is stretching that out to 20, 30 years.
Well, yeah, income-driven repayment plan would do that to you, but you're not. If you're doing the debt snowball method that we teach, and you're aggressively attacking your debt, not just making minimum payments, you would knock this thing out in probably closer to 3 or 4 years at this rate.
Okay.
And I would tell you, get your income up, get your expenses down, because making $100,000 with as low rent as you guys have, you should be able to throw a few $1,000s a month at this debt.
Okay.
So think about that. Could you throw $4,000 a month at the debt if you really got tight?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, think about the math on that. That's almost $50,000 a year. You said you have 110 total. This thing's done in a little over 2 years.
Correct.
So where did this 10-year plan come from? And what the scheming of Dad's going to give me the
it's
house
like,
and
George,
I'm going to do a consolidation loan?
It feels like it's become too complex because it feels like they're trying to find a shortcut.
Yes.
Well, the shortcut right now is he's expecting the Parent Plus loan repayment to be like $500 a month. And on top of what we're already paying for our student loans, that's kind of a new thing of we're adding this $500 a month.
Yeah, but how does that, I get what you're trying to say, but how does that give you the case to go, well, let's do this really convoluted thing and try to figure this out? He signed up for this. He's a grown man.
Yeah.
Okay, then. I guess I want to make sure.
More or less having the leverage of the land and putting it in our name.
But George, why is that a terrible
what we could help.
Here's what I want you to do. I want you to give George a minute or two here to explain why that's a really bad idea. He started down that path, and I just want you to hear him out.
Okay.
So I'm confused as to, you're trying to move one debt to another debt and essentially say, hey, we're going to take on a mortgage instead of paying all of these debts off separately, right?
Yes, a single payment a month.
And that's going to solve the problems how?
Less stress, and I mean we can't get taxes we can't put an expense or get tax breaks from the student loans or credit card interest.
So now you're doing this for a mortgage interest tax break?
I mean, it's an additional benefit.
Do you guys itemize your deductions when you file your taxes?
Yes, because I have a business as well.
The interest on this, I mean, it's not even going to be enough to warrant the tax break. I feel like everything you're doing is for a different reason than what you originally told me. I think we need one clear goal. And if you're calling this show, that goal should be to be completely debt-free.
Yeah, that's the goal, and as fast as we can get that.
The other part is, if your dad gives you this house now, then it's going to move the step up in basis. So what did he buy the house for originally?
So it's a double wide, which means it has a title.
So it's going down in value every day?
Yes.
Don't do this.
Why are we doing it? This just gets
makes
crazier
no
and crazier.
sense. And by the way, even if it did make sense, the amount of savings is going to be next to nothing. Am I right, George?
Yeah.
Quick calculation. So, Jeremy, this idea that I'm lowering stress by coming up with one payment is not true. The stress is from the total debt, and the money saved on this is not going to be worth it.
I would not take a mortgage out on something going down in value.
Not a double wide. Jeremy, that's like a country song.
This is bad news. You should be trying to get out of this situation, not stick yourself in it further and further and further. No more deals with dad, no more scheming, no more moving one debt to another. Just pay off your freaking debts. You signed the dotted line. You guys have a solid income. Get the income up, expenses down. Get out of this debt in 2 years. And that's the only solution I would be pursuing at this point.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. The interest rates started going up and the market started slowing down dramatically about 15 or 18 months ago. And we did a live stream where I very emphatically said the real estate market is not going to crash. Values are not going to tank. And here's how I know that. And I went through several data points on the air, and we had several 100,000 of you watch that live stream, and we covered some of that on the air here to let you know that the real estate market values were not going to tank because a whole bunch of people were really upset that interest rates had gone up. They felt that the system had cheated them, and they were not going to be able to buy a home. They were frozen out of the home market, and they would sit on the sidelines and wait on the real estate market to crash and go down in value. And I explained to you why it was not going to go down in value, and it was a very simple proposition, except I went into great detail. I'm not going to do right now. But basically it works like this. When there is a shortage of an item, it's called supply-demand curve in economics. If you had a decent economics class in the 7th grade, you learned this, okay? The supply-demand curve works like this. When there is an oversupply of an item versus the demand, more if you got a glut in the market, if you can get them anywhere easily, there's not a shortage, prices go down. When there's a shortage of an item or a service in the market, a scarcity, prices versus demand, prices go up. That's basic economics. Okay? So items that are scarce go up more often than not. Items that are easily available, readily available, widely available, there's too many of them produced, go down in value. Does that make sense? Everybody kind of knows that. That's kind of common sense if you think about it. So here's the deal. There is less inventory of homes for sale versus the number of buyers today than there has been in 25 years. There's a shortage of housing versus the demand. Zero chance prices are going to go down on houses during that time. I said that 18 months ago. Told everybody that. Dave, that video is not going to age well. After the crash, you're going to have to come back and tell people you were wrong. Well, instead, I'm here going, nah. I freaking know what I'm talking about. Okay, there's a difference, all right? I know a little about that stuff. I've got a degree in real estate. I've been buying real estate since before any of you were born. So, hardly any of you. So spring is upon us. It's predicted to be another busy time for real estate. This is some stuff we just picked up out of the press. Average interest rates for 15-year fixed-rate mortgages are at 6.16% right now, down from 7 and some change just a few weeks ago. So interest rates are trending down. Total housing inventory at the end of January was up 2% and up 3% from a year ago. Unsold inventory still sits at a 3-month supply. And there is a tremendous number of new listings coming. So we're starting to see some supply come back into the market. That's what we're seeing. But we're also seeing buyers come back into the market that were sidelined, waiting on interest rates to go down or waiting on the crash.
And for people who don't believe that, I bid on a house a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, and I got outbid by 4 different buyers.
There's a lot of multiple contracts are coming back. That's what the National Association of Realtors is reporting this. Okay? Low inventory has driven the median home price up to an all-time high
Prices went up. They didn't crash. You were wrong. They went up to an all-time high of $379,000. That's the median home price in America. In February, homes went from being listed to going under contract in 17 days, and they were at 27 days. So they're selling faster. The market is heating back up. And the slight move in interest rate down, the grass getting green in some of the markets, we're seeing the real estate market heat back up. We're seeing multiple offers in big markets like Nashville again. And let me tell you, I got my real estate license in 1978. The number of years during that, between 1978 and now, that you put a home on the market and you got multiple offers, it's been a very rare time. But prior to 2020, we were seeing some of it. And then, of course, after Fauci's pandemic, we saw people go crazy. And they came out of their homes. They were quarantined and came out looking for new houses like a Baptist looking for a casserole. They were everywhere, man. They were running around like crazy and drove prices ridiculously up in 20 and out of control. I mean, like 89 offers on a weekend, that kind of stuff. All right, that y'all remember that. That's just that's just like two and a half years ago. Okay, and then it chilled. It just stopped, and the market has it's continued to move, but it's very slow. The volume has been very slow, but still demand has exceeded supply, and we've seen prices go up. And now that the market's heating back up a little bit, now we've yet again got even more demand than supply, and we're seeing multiple offers again. So if you are thinking about selling a house, this is an excellent time to sell a house.
As a guy who's trying to buy one, please sell your house.
If you're thinking about buying a house, today you're out of debt, you have your down payment, you're ready to go, and the only thing you're waiting on is the real estate prices to come down or the interest rates to come down. Don't wait. Go buy a house right now if you're ready, because the prices aren't going to come down, and if the interest rates come down, you can just refinance. So you marry the house, you date the rate. That's how that works. The rate is temporary. The house is dead. So here's the thing. Median house price, all-time high in history right now. Interesting. And you thought 2020 was crazy. And you thought 2021 was crazy. All right? I'm telling you, I'm not predicting it to go nuts again, but the idea that some of you are still sitting around waiting on this market to correct is hilariously stupid. You're that wrong. And Dave, that's not going to age well. Hey, I've aged pretty well in general. There's a couple things I've missed it on, but I pretty much call it on a lot of these things. I told you Bitcoin was a scam. I told you from the start, even when all of you people that joined Bitcoin, like some people joined Mary Kay, y'all were driving me nuts, yelling and screaming at me like I'd insulted your Jesus or something. It's crazy. And it was a dadgum scam, and we knew it was a scam from the start. We knew it was a horrible idea, and yet you walked around acting like you're sophisticated, and Dave Ramsey just doesn't understand. Let me tell you guys, this is what's happening with real estate. I promise you, you can look up this particular YouTube 5 years from now, and you're going to go, yeah, that old fart was right again. That's what you're going to do. It's exactly what you're going to do. So prices are going to go up. Rates are going to go up and down, up and down, up and down. They always have, and they always will. The only rate that you cannot adjust is mine. My interest rate on my mortgage is 0 because I don't have a mortgage. That's the only one you can control. So get the house paid off. Go to RamseySolutions.com. Get you a Ramsey trusted agent to buy a house or to sell a house right now. And quit believing all this fear-mongering bullcrap that's out there. Listen, the market is slow, but demand still exceeds supply, and it has still driven us to an all-time high median price on house. Those are facts. That's called data. If you don't agree with that, you're what's known as wrong. Seriously. So if you're going to buy a house or sell a house, best time's right now. I told you that same thing 18 months ago, and I was right then, too. Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.